Hello and welcome all you football fans for another installment of YSN Live Football as we get ready pregame here in Paul Brown Tiger Stadium in Massillon, Ohio. Ty Bartell alongside Anthony Romo for the first time ever in the same press box together. And Romo, you got a big one tomorrow with Cheney and Ursuline, but you're going to get yourself a nice appetizer here on Friday night with a huge one in Division II.
Oh, yeah, Ty, I'll tell you what, I am so excited for this game here tonight. This has always been a bucket list item of mine. Paul Brown Tiger Stadium at full capacity. I've been here before. I called a game in 2020, Springfield against Coldwater State Championship game in the opposite press box. But now we're over here in the True Media press box. Big crowd on hand, which if you know Massillon football, if you know the movie Go Tigers, you know that this city bleeds through their football program. Big game tomorrow, Cheney Ursuline, but this game's going to take center stage on the network here tonight. Austintown Fitch looking for what I would say one of the biggest wins in recent memory for the program, as Massillon's coming off a big win last week that you'll let us know about.
Yeah, and you're looking at Massillon's win against St. Ed's. That was a huge win against a perennial powerhouse.
Number 19 team in the nation.
Yeah, against Division I. Right now, Massillon Washington, after that win, sits firmly at 4th in Division II, Region 7. Some notable teams, number 1 in that one, Uniontown Lake, and a team that Canfield's going to get accustomed with tonight, Dover, sitting at 5 in that division as well, region, I should say, to give you a kind of a look of what the competition's like in that one. For Fitch, they're coming in at 5 in Region 5 Division 2, and both these teams in that kind of hunt for the playoffs where they want that home field advantage in that first round.
Yeah, both teams definitely want to get in that top 4 of the playoffs, because not only now with the new 16 teams per region, if you get in that top 4, you're not only guaranteed a first-round home game, but a second one as well. And I think Austintown Fitch last year just missed the cut on that second home playoff game, and what do they get in return? A playoff game at Archbishop Hoban, and we know the Hoban Knights, year in, year out, one of the best programs in the state of Ohio. They took it to Fitch. So Austintown Fitch definitely looking for that home field advantage for that second week of the postseason this year.
Yeah, Hoban's always that team in Fitch's region that they're trying to get over to get themselves over to Canton and get themselves in that state championship game. But one thing we're for sure not going to see any shortage of on this field tonight, Anthony Romo, is Division I, college Division I level talent on both sides of the field. There is talent up and down both sides. For Fitch, you're naming guys like Brian Robinson's 1-2. Cam Smith is another. Xavier Don. Some big names on this Fitch squad.
Yeah, not only those guys, but the running back tandem of DJ Williams and Jamel James. I know Jamel James, his recruitment starting to heat up a little bit more from what I hear. Of course, he missed his entire junior season due to having a pretty tough injury in the preseason. But I know him as well as DJ Williams, who's only a junior, who has been on a multitude of visits. You also have quarterback Deshaun Vaughn, who I think is one of the best athletes in the area. I don't know if he'll necessarily play quarterback at the next level, but he's definitely Division I talent. And then if you look at the side of Massillon, you have Marcus Moore, defensive lineman, 305 pounds, already committed to Akron. And then you have a guy in Ardo Banks, who just decommitted from Toledo.
Yeah, so plenty of talent on both sides. We're not going to see any shortage of athleticism here in Paul Brown Tiger Stadium. And honestly, if we look at it, too, these teams match up pretty well as far as their athleticism, as far as size is concerned. I'm interested in that quarterback battle because, like you said, Deshaun Vaughn, it's his first year under center. It's his first year as a starter for the Austintown Fitch Falcons. So this is one of, I'd argue, the biggest game in his career as a starter. You look on the other side, though, sophomore quarterback in Jalen Slaughter. He was thrown onto the scene in his freshman year last year, and he got himself some experience in some big games. Led that team to some big wins last year as well. He came back this year, had a little bit of struggles early on, but he's readjusted, and he's looked really sharp in the latest weeks.
Yeah, and you got to give it to Slaughter. Struggles for a Massillon quarterback are a little bit different than struggles for most other teams in the state of Ohio. You start the year off playing Archbishop Moeller. Massillon, year in, year out, they're going to play one of the toughest schedules in the state, not only to get their guys ready, but they always have that ability to play pretty much anyone, because this is one of the most successful programs in not only Ohio but the country. You look across from us, I'll get this camera up real quick and do a little zoom. If you can see 24 Ohio State championships, 9 national championships. Of course, they haven't had a state championship since 1970, and they haven't had a state championship in the actual playoff system that is here in Ohio. All their state championships were poll championships before playoffs were a big thing in Ohio. So this team, they boast one of the biggest names in high school football, and we see the crowd here tonight. They boast one of the biggest fan bases in high school football as well.
Yeah, no doubt. It's already a great rockin' crowd tonight as well. And don't forget, too, to go along with all the accolades that this Massillon, Washington team has. Best record, most wins in the state of Ohio, and one of the tops in the entire nation as well. We look at this team, though, and before we get into our commercial break, before the start opening kickoff, I'd say, honestly, we look at Fitch's offense. The biggest thing is when the quarterback play needs to come through with Deshaun Vaughn, he's going to need to make his passes on the secondary. That's shown inexperience at times.
Yeah, of course. Deshaun Vaughn's going to have to take control of this Fitch offense early and often. This is going to be one of the most raucous crowds that Vaughn especially has faced in his high school career at the quarterback helm. And something I'm very interested to see in is Fitch hasn't really been tested early. You go to that Ursuline game. Ursuline came back towards the end, made it a big game, lost by 8, but Fitch was up 42-7 in that fourth quarter. Fitch has not really been punched in the mouth early on. This Massillon offense definitely has a chance to do that here early tonight. We're going to see how Fitch responds and if they can hold up with this high-powered offense.
On the flip side, on Fitch's defense, to piggyback off of that point you made with Ursuline, Fitch hasn't had to play a whole lot of four-quarter games this year. They've finished a lot of things in the second and third quarter of ball games and not had to really play competitive close football for 4 quarters. In that Ursuline game, they had to, as Ursuline was coming back, and we saw they were faltering in that second half. That's going to be a big question mark defensively for Fitch tonight.
And I think for Austintown Fitch, scheduling a team like Massillon is so big for a team that has as much skill as Fitch has because, like you said, the Falcons have not played too many 4-quarter games with their starters, and you do not want to face that problem. It's a weird problem to have, but come playoff time, I know a lot of Valley teams that struggle in the playoffs because they cakewalk through their regular season, and a lot of their guys aren't ready for that 4-quarter-long physical game. So you schedule the good teams like Massillon that you're going to come in here, you know they're going to give you a dogfight, and your guys are going to gain a lot of experience with the playoff season just around the corner.
Massillon came into Austintown and took a 31-21 victory against Fitch a year ago from this season point as Fitch looks for some revenge, and they haven't had a winning record in their career against Massillon, Washington, looking to get a win tonight and set themselves up as one of the big names in Division II. Ty Bartel, Anthony Roma will be on the call for you right after a few short-minute break. We get ready for our kickoff at 7 o'clock. Tigers, Falcons, YSNLive.com.
21 News delivers the news as it happens, using the latest technology from where it happens.
Live here outside the Mahoney County.
On air, online,
Wednesday afternoon weather update.
Very dangerous.
and on the 21 News social media platforms.
I'm on the road right now.
21 News, the Valley's only locally owned source for trusted news since 1953.
At Greenwood Chevrolet, we offer a worry-free experience for all our customers.
From sales to financing and even service.
We'll help build your perfect vehicle.
And lock in your trade value
While your vehicle is being built.
No worries.
We guarantee financing.
Regardless of your situation or credit history.
No worries. And when your vehicle needs service,
Our award-winning team will get you back on the road.
No worries.
That's what going the extra mile means. Only at Greenwood Chevrolet.
Quality, customer service, and integrity. Those are the 4 words that have driven our success since 1957 at Joe Dickey Electric.
Joe Dickey Electric is one Mahoning Valley landmark business that stays current with the requirements of our customers. Family owned and managed, we are an electrical contractor and energy solutions provider. Every member of our team adds to his or her skill set through ongoing training. Residential, commercial, industrial, automotive, and more. We keep ahead of the needs of our customers with a fleet of more than 50 vehicles and 24/7 emergency service, so you're never left in the dark.
Hi, this is Zell Bush.
Hi, this is Tom Flynn. Hi, this is Steve Rossetto.
Hi, this is Ryan Miller.
Hi, this is Rich Sakui from WRS Wealth Advisors.
With our combined 80 years of experience,
WRS Wealth Advisors are the area's premier wealth and retirement specialists. Call 330-965-0370 to learn more about our individual and corporate financial planning services.
Or visit WRSwealth.com.
Go Raiders.
Go Dogs.
Go Cats. Go Dogs. Go Tigers.
Change. This one word can make you break out in a cold sweat. But with change comes wisdom, experience, and understanding. At Myers Family Insurance, we can help make changes in Medicare, insurance, and retirement a positive experience for you and your family. We've gone through changes, like our new office and new faces to help our family of clients too.
For all your Medicare needs, call Myers Family Insurance. Check us out online at MyersFamilyINS.com or find us on Facebook.
My guy keeps it 100% of the time. He wants all 100, won't settle for 99. And it's more than stats because there's people in those numbers. And I was one of the lost sheep. I'm so glad he cares for all 100. I'm 100% safe, 100% free, 100% love. I can be 100% me. He gave all 100 when they put him up on that tree. That's 100% passion for 100% free. So if I play in front of 100, or if I play in front of 2, there's an audience of 1 getting 100% of what I can do.
You're looking to your future, preparing for your goals, and they're closer than you think. Because here, success is part of the plan. It's a place where academic and social opportunities are meant to prepare you for life, not just the next 4 years. You'll be equipped to face new challenges and turn hard work into a career. You're ready for your success to take root. And here's where it starts. We are Youngstown State University, and proud.
Winter, spring, summer, and fall, Mill Creek Metro Parks is your park for all seasons. Make a memory in the park. Plan your visit today at millcreekmetroparks.org.
When looking for home design inspiration, don't just be inspired, be Baird inspired. Whether new or remodeling, Baird Brothers has the latest trends like shiplap to refresh your home. Go from inspiration to installation with our wide selection of in-stock American hardwoods. From the rustic charm of antique oak to the warmth of traditional cherry, Baird Brothers has what you need to make your home inspiring. Baird Brothers, our family's heritage, your family's home.
Why choose local? Because you live here, work here, learn here, relax here, and celebrate here. 21 WFMJ is our family's only locally owned TV station, and our focus is local. Other TV stations don't have that same focus, as their owners are somewhere else. But 21 WFMJ is rooted in the Valley. Local people making decisions that affect your life, right here where you live.
But now you can see every school, to the smallest school, to the intermediate schools, to the schools in the outlying areas. It gives you coverage that you could just never get to before. It's something that's great to experience, and it's opened up a whole new wave of sports viewership. The possibilities are endless here at YSN. Push the envelope every day. Try something new. If it works, great. If it doesn't, well, let's try another angle, and we just keep moving forward. My name is Mike Ackelson, and my sports network is your sports network.
Reliability, innovation, scale. These 3 values are those we look forward to in our business and in our team. If you're ready for a reliable employer who looks constantly to think outside the box in big ways, we're ready for you. Apply now. Help us push the envelope and deliver success. Envelope 1. Take that one extra step. We are Kent State in the Valley. Start and finish one of more than 25 bachelor's or associate degree programs, or start one of Kent State's 280 majors. With low tuition, public, and plenty of scholarship opportunities, we will help you maximize your education and minimize student debt. Enjoy the benefits of a smaller campus with all the opportunities of a large university. Save money, stay close to home. Apply today by visiting kent.edu/Trumbull.
How lucky are we to have not one, but two 18-hole Donald Ross Championship golf courses right here in our backyards. Mill Creek Golf Course was selected by Golf Week as one of America's 30 best municipal courses, continuing to challenge golfers of all levels and featuring golf instruction by PGA professionals, a state-of-the-art practice range, a PGA of America recognized pro shop, kids programs, and a relaxing grill room for a memorable golf experience. For more information or to schedule a tee time, visit millcreekmetroparks.org.
At Greenwood Chevrolet, we offer a worry-free experience for all our customers.
When your vehicle needs service,
Every customer has a story, whether it's buying a car for the first time, helping them get approved, or finding the perfect car for their budget. I'm proud that people trust me with their story. I'm Tracy, and I'm ready to go the extra mile for you, only at Greenwood Chevrolet.
I love the customers, interacting with customers, basically just being there even after the sale. If they have a question or if they have a problem with their vehicle, I'm here to help them make an educated decision. I'm here to educate them on their buying a car. I'm Frank Mascara, and I'm ready to go the extra mile for you.
The environment in the hospital can be very intense for a patient. Being able to put a smile on their face brightens up my day. I go to Youngstown State University, and my passion is nursing. What I love about studying nursing is that it takes you out of the classroom and into the lab. It's really hands-on. The professors here push you to be your absolute best, so if you want it, you gotta work hard for it. I am so excited about my future. I'm Shantiana, and I am why I'm proud.
Hello and welcome all you football fans for another installment of YSN Live Football. The 4-1 Massillon Tigers are hosting the 5-0 Austintown Fitch Falcons. Ty Bartel, Anthony Romo here in the beautiful and historic Paul Brown Tiger Stadium, and an atmosphere of pregame festivities too with the national anthem, the band. I mean, unlike any other, really, Anthony.
Yeah, I was going to say that national anthem rendition by, looks like, the children's choir here at Massillon, that was something else. I've never seen anything like that. You have the fireworks going off. Of course, the big tiger mascot that not only Massillon comes out of, but the one that is across from them as they come out. It looks like the Tigers, yep, the Tigers will be kicking off. So Ty, Fitch is going to get the ball first here, and if you're head coach TJ Parker, it's probably something you like. You want your guys to come out and make a statement away from home.
Yeah, for sure. And, I mean, you look at this Fitch team, too, to get the ball out of the gates against a really good defensive team in Massillon, Washington. Scoring here is going to be at a premium, you figure, as both these teams' offenses have looked good, but we don't expect games to be in the 30 and 40 points between these two teams, which is how good the defense can be.
Of course, the bigger defense that'll come out tonight is the one that'll probably win this ball game.
As Nolan Hendricks, the kicker, able to kick it off, and flag coming in late, I believe, kick out of bounds. So Fitch going to get some extra yardage right out of the gates.
Yeah, that kick going out of bounds right at about the 2-yard line. That'll set up Fitch with great field position for their first drive. Your quarterback, Deshaun Vaughn, this is obviously the biggest atmosphere, biggest crowd he's played in front of as a quarterback in his Austintown Fitch tenure, giving him a little bit of cushion. That'll be big early on for this Fitch offense.
Falcons wearing their all-white uniforms, red trim, navy blue helmets with the block F. Massillon, Washington in the all-orange uniforms, black helmet, black trim with the tiger on the helmet. Falcons being led by Deshaun Vaughn Jr. They're going to be utilizing 2 receivers, twins out to the far side of the field to Vaughn's left, single backfield with Jamel James on the left hip of Vaughn. First handoff doesn't go to James, keeper by Vaughn. Vaughn's about to get about a yard, looks like, on the carry, so minimal gain on first down.
Yeah, and you got to imagine that this Massillon defense and film coming into this week, they saw the heavy load that DJ Williams and Jamel James get on the ground. So it'll be impressive if Fitch can get them going early on, because Massillon's definitely going to be keen on them in the backfield.
Second down and 9 to go for the Falcons. Vaughn out of the shotgun. 3 receivers set to his right. He's going to go screen pass. Tack came late. Is going to need to jump on it. Looks like Tigers. They're whistling dead ball. And, yeah, I was going to say, kind of tackle came, I don't know if it was right at that exact time to force a fumble, but officials all over that whistled that ball dead. It's going to be 3rd and long, though, for Austintown.
Yeah, that was a nice job by the cornerback for Massillon at the bottom of the field. I believe that was number 10 for the Tigers, Zach Liebler, who sniffed out that screen from the very start. Nice job, though, that it fell incomplete. They called it a forward pass. So no loss for Fitch.
2 receivers each side. Vaughn back to pass, hits a nail on a target in the far side of the field, and Cam Smith, the Iowa State commit, muscles his way past the first down markers, and Fitch a big 3rd down conversion early on.
Yeah, that's big on your first drive. You don't want to go 3 and out and get this crowd into it right away. Nice job by Fitch. Vaughn settling down in the backfield, finding Cam Smith on the out route, had some space. He'll move the chains. Fitch will keep the drive alive.
46-yard line of the Falcons' own side of the field as they look to cross into Massillon territory. Vaughn again, 3 receivers out to the right, out of the shotgun. Handoff this time goes to Jamel James, and boy, the Tigers' defensive line, the real deal, and they shut it down right at the middle.
Yeah, you look at some of these guys on Massillon's defensive line. You have the ends, Malachi Card. You have Chase Bond. Card's at 6'2", Bond's at 6'4". Everyone on the line. Marcus Moore, 6'2", 305 pounds. We mentioned in our pregame show. He's committed to the University of Akron. So Fitch's offensive line, they're going to have to stand strong and try to create some holes for this running game.
Under 11 minutes in this game as the handoff, keeper from Deshaun Vaughn slips off that first tackle, gets a positive gain on second, but it's going to be a 3rd down from about the midfield mark. They need to get to Massillon's 44-yard line.
Yeah, and that's big for Austintown Fitch to get this running game going, and especially on 2nd down, you want to get positive yardage. You do not want to put yourself behind the chains. We saw Austintown Fitch convert 1 3rd down and long. You don't want to have to put yourself in the situation to have to kind of stack those at the beginning of the game.
Falcons spreading things out on the offense, utilizing 3 receivers, single back on the right hip of Vaughn. Vaughn fakes it, play action pass, gets rushed out, rolling to his right, needing to get rid of it. Vaughn looking for the pass, throws a target to Cam Smith, who has it tip off the top of his fingertips and fall incomplete. It's going to be 4th down now for Fitch.
Cam Smith had a little bit of space, but Vaughn's pass a little bit too high. Cam Smith almost doing his best George Pickens impression from last night in that ball game against the Cleveland Browns, trying to reel it in with one hand, but unable to do so. That'll be 4th down for Fitch.
Good job by Vaughn, realizing that the pocket was collapsing, got out when he did, and didn't try to force anything too bad. And that's the biggest thing with this Massillon defense. Can't turn it over. But going to have to punt it away now, the Falcons, as Ruggles, the punter for Fitch, back to return the kickoffs, the punts, I should say. Nolan Hendricks, Jalen Slaughter calling fair catch just before the 20-yard line, and that's where Massillon Washington's going to take over. It looked like 18.5 is where the Tigers are going to get their first offensive possession of the game. Now, Falcons, after giving the ball back on offense to the Tigers, big thing now on defense, try to keep this game evened up.
Yeah, Fitch last week came out with a purpose on defense. They held Bennett from New York to very minimal yardage out in that first half, jumped out to a big lead like they have so much this season. Now Massillon has a chance to draw first blood, which has not happened too often this year for Fitch. I don't know if it's happened at all. You would know that, Ty, but you do not want to go down early on the road in front of a crowd like this.
No doubt. Early running gets about 3 yards on first down, it looks like, for the Tigers. call it 4 yards, actually. Nice opening run. Jalen Slaughter, sophomore quarterback, had a lot of playing time last year, and he's really coming into his own towards the midway point of this season, throwing 10 touchdowns to just 1 interception on the year.
And if I'm correct, Slaughter had a big part in that comeback against Fitch last year for Massillon at Austintown.
Trying to go back to the run game. Fitch stops it up the middle, shy of the first. It's going to be 3rd down and about 2.5, maybe 3 yards to go for the Tigers.
And this is where Massillon is probably most comfortable. Your running back, Wilcho Hartson, in the backfield, only 5'10", but he's 200 pounds, low center of gravity, a lot of strength in his lower body. He's going to try to push for these extra 2 yards for Massillon, I'd imagine.
They're bringing in Dorian Pringle, 5'11", 220, running back as well for an option.
So that's an even bigger back. A lot of power in the backfield for Massillon.
Going to go with that run game, and they find a seam and tackled near the 35-yard line. They're going to call it just past it, but a first down run on 3rd down for the Tigers, and that sets them up right around midfield as they continue to move.
Yeah, Massillon did a good job up front moving some Fitch bodies around. Luckily, the Falcons were able to get a stop there. I don't know, from my vantage point, it looked like that one could have went for a lot more yards when he got that ball in the backfield.
Tigers, after their first down, go back to the ground game looking for the edge, and Falcons make a nice tackle after a gain of about 4 from the Tigers. And honestly, Ant, this is going to spell a recipe for disaster for the Falcons if Tigers keep opening up with 4-yard runs on first.
Yeah, I think Fitch's linebackers are going to be the pivotal players here tonight. DJ Williams, Jay Sean Barrett. We've seen Barrett get his hands on a couple Massillon players so far. It's okay if Massillon can get through that first line, but this second line of defense, the linebacking core, and these defensive backs, if they're up high, Fitch is going to have to get some stops here.
Trying to go up the middle. Falcons trying to stuff the run. They'll stop it shy of the first, but it's another 3rd and short coming up for the Tigers, and this time looks like they only need about a couple yards on 3rd.
And if you're Massillon, like we were talking about film earlier this week, you got to imagine the Tigers are going to try to keep that ball up towards the middle. Stay away from the ends. Brian Robinson, Xavier Don, one of the best defensive end duos in our area.
Falcons looking for a big stop on 3rd and looking for another conversion. The Tigers get that edge. They got the first down and more. Off to the races. Massillon looks for the first score. Tried to go with the stiff arm on DJ Williams. DJ Williams was like an immovable object, and he stiff-armed himself out of bounds. But nonetheless, in the red zone now, the Tigers looking to open up with a score.
Yeah, you're not going to have too much luck trying to stiff-arm someone like DJ Williams, but Massillon gets the job done. Another first down, and they are now deep in Fitch territory, inside the 20-yard line, inside the red zone. We'll see if the Tigers can cap off this drive with a touchdown.
Looking for an opening score. Slaughter on the handoff, up the middle, just rolling off of tackles, and a big gain on first. And it's going to set up 2nd down and short as the Tigers are at the 10.
Yeah, and we've seen that a lot from Massillon early on. They're not getting short gains. They're getting about 4 or 5 yard gains on first down, and that's setting them up beautifully in these drives. Austintown Fitch, you would love a big stop here in the red zone. Hold the Tigers away from the touchdown on the board.
Jalen Slaughter takes the snap right back to that ground game. Got the edge. They're going to get the first, I believe. No, they're going to say they have the 3 up, I think, just shy of the first. No, now they're saying move the chains, as I believe that was the line judge that made the call that time.
And you saw number 77, Mike Mercurio, the right guard for Massillon, staying on his feet up there ahead of the runner, Wiltrell Hartson, trying to hold his pads up and get him an extra few yards. That may have been what Hartson needed to get that first down.
Tigers looking to open up with a score. 1st and goal for Massillon Washington. Back to the ground game, looking for the edge, barreling his way through, straight bully ball to open up with a score. Wiltro Hartson, the 200-pound senior, gets the Tigers on the board. It's 6-0 Massillon.
Yep, this is what you expected from the Tigers early on. They're going to go to that running well as much as Fitch does. If they can get the line up front to move bodies around, Massillon has no problem keeping that ball on the ground and away from having to heave it through the air. They march right down the field. They get the first touchdown of the night, extra point pending.
Back to kick, Vinny Keller. Vinny Keller not listed as the normal starter as Nolan Hendricks is, but Keller with his first kick. He looks like he splits the uprights. It's good, and it's a 7-0 Massillon Tiger lead. Romo, looking at that drive too defensively, what are some things that Coach Parker and his defensive coordinators are talking about after that first drive by Fitch?
I think that if you're Fitch from an offensive perspective, you want to stay positive. You want to try to go to the run as much as you can. You have DJ Williams and Jamel James, two of the best backs in the area. I think you just got to put the ball in their hands, because if they can start to wear down this Massillon defense early on, like Fitch did last year, they're the team that wore down towards the end of that Massillon game a year ago. If they can do the opposite here, wear down this Massillon defense early on, I think Austintown Fitch is going to be able to keep themselves in this ball game.
For Washington right now, I mean, the biggest thing for Fitch defensively against this Massillon team is you're going to have to limit that run game in any way, shape, or form, as Massillon got all they wanted and more on the ground game that first drive to open up with a huge score and a lead on the Falcons. Not too many times the Falcons have trailed in this season, so going to be interesting this offensive drive here for Fitch. Dan Evans III takes it in on the kickoff. Evans III looking for an opening. Evans III able to sneak through just shy of the 30, and that's where Fitch going to take over on offense for their second drive of the ball game.
And back to what you were saying about the Fitch defense, you're just going to have to control the line of scrimmage, but that goes on both sides of the ball here tonight. For the offense, it's going to be one in the trenches. I feel like that's like an old school football reference, but that means big here tonight. If Fitch's offensive line, the big guys up front, if they can control it, then Austintown, they're going to have to keep up with Massillon. I mean, it's safe to say we know how good this Fitch defense is, but this offense is going to have to be clicking tonight.
Deshaun Vaughn trips out to his left. Single receiver down near side of the field to his right. Jamel James in the backfield. DJ Williams in the backfield with him. Tried to get it to Williams. Williams gets swallowed up by the Tiger defense. Able to get back to the line of scrimmage to not lose any yards, but not a gain either.
Massillon doing a good job again. They're containing the edges. They're not letting Fitch get outside of that kind of middle hash on the field. You're going to have to play bully ball up the gut. 2nd down and 10. They didn't lose any yardage, but you don't want to not gain any yards on first down. We saw Massillon getting 4 or 5 yards each play.
Vaughn looking to spread things out. The pitch out to Williams, as Williams looking to get some yardage, able to gain about 4 on the Tigers.
And we talked about it in our pregame show. To just be playing in a game like this for Austintown Fitch is huge. Games like this are what get you ready for playoff time. No offense to some of the teams they've played earlier on, but this is arguably the toughest team you're going to play on your schedule if you're Fitch. Show what you can do right now. You're going to gain a lot of experience from this game.
Yeah, out of the other teams, too, in Division II, this is a team you wouldn't have to face. Looking for the jump, and it looks like Massillon does jump. Encroachment on the Tigers. Going to push the Falcons forward. But you're right, too, and I mean, Region 5 for Fitch, Region 7 for Massillon. So these two teams wouldn't face each other until it was the state Final Four, providing both of them win their regional. So this is a great schedule for both teams, a game that you might not have to face again.
Yeah, Massillon definitely got the lucky end of the stick, you got to say, being placed in that Region 7. It's not that their region is not tough, but Region 5 is one of the most stacked regions in the state, with teams like Fitch, Hoban, Nordonia, etc.
Yeah, a lot of great talent there for Austintown. Now sitting with the first down and some uncharacteristically undisciplined plays from Massillon, Washington, as they jump again and give Falcons a short field to work with on first.
Yep, that was Mike Wright, the nose tackle, I believe. Yep, Mike Wright, the nose tackle, jumped again, so now 1st down and 5 for Austintown Fitch.
At the 44-yard line of their own side of the field, Falcons looking to get another first. Wait by DJ Williams, and that was a nice patient approach by DJ Williams, even though he only got a couple yards on that. Not rushing immediately when his hand touches the football, too, as got to be patient with a line as good and as effective as this Massillon Washington Tigers team.
Yeah, Trenton Campbell getting in the backfield. He blew right through the Austintown Fitch offensive line. You're going to want to be as patient as you can in the backfield, but sometimes it's hard when guys are just blowing right through your big bodies up front.
2nd and 3 now for Fitch. First down is their own 49. Again to Williams. Williams gets swallowed up by that defensive line. Front seven from Massillon, Washington on their defensive side. Romo, no doubt the strength of this team.
And if you're Fitch being set up with a 1st down and 5, you do not want to go 3 and out, particularly from that point. You don't want to have to be set up with a 4th down right here. You're looking at 3rd down and 3. I think now would be a great time to try to go back to that passing game. We saw Cam Smith get some space out a couple times. He already has 1 reception for a 1st down tonight. We'll see what Vaughn decides to do here.
Vaughn going to check off on that sideline. 8 seconds on the play clock, 5 seconds and ticking. 4:05 left to go in this first quarter of play here in Paul Brown Tigers Stadium, and a timeout being taken by Austintown, their first of the half. And what you think about that timeout being called right here, Romo?
Yeah, Coach Parker had to do that right there. There's going to be a delay of game on Austintown Fitch, and you do not want to be pushed back to 3rd and 8 when you were set up with a 3rd and 9 actually, when you were set up with a 1st down and 5. But if you're head coach TJ Parker, you're just trying to settle your junior quarterback down, let the game come to him, maybe try to get their wideouts up top. We saw trips look before the timeout. Dan Evans, Dominic Perry, Jaden Ely up there. We know how they've had so many big receptions this season for Fitch. They're going to have to come up big on this drive to keep it alive.
Yeah, 1st down, no doubt here. Feels like it's a big moment in this ball game, because if you get held to 4th here, decisions become if you want to go for it on 4th, be that aggressive near midfield, or if you give it back to Massillon Washington, who, if they're able to burn some clock, you need to, I remind you too, with Massillon kicking off, they're going to be receiving the second half kickoff. So
that's true.
Definitely an opportunity for the Tigers to really build a lead on Fitch, needing a 1st down.
First quarter going by quick. 4:03 remains.
3 receivers out to Vaughn's left. Vaughn looks that way. Pocket gets blown up, throws on the money. What a catch! Still on his feet, Jaden Ely. Green pastures in front of him. He'll walk into the end zone. Touchdown, Austintown.
That is exactly the play that Deshaun Vaughn needed to settle in. Has some pressure, evades it, rolls out to his right, finds Jaden Ely, who's able to stay on his feet, get into the end zone. Austintown Fitch gets on the board. Special teams, or what hurt Fitch last year, Josiah Burneye is going to have to be really big tonight on the special teams attempts.
You look at this team, too, and I mean, Jamel James, DJ Williams get a lot of attention, but Jaden Ely, a very underrated receiver in the area, too, makes a lot of big plays, makes a lot of big catches for this Falcon squad. No doubt another big one there for Austintown Fitch. Kick is up, and little scary there. Washington got back there quickly, but the Falcons do split the uprights. Josiah Burneye does, and we're all evened up at 7 apiece. And, well, what we expected, though, Ant, we expected this to be a close game. These are 2 really good programs that whenever they do battle, it always seems like these are 2 teams that bring their all every season, no matter what the record is. That's a big score, though, no doubt, for Fitch in this point of the ballgame.
That is a huge score for Fitch. Just with the team they're playing, you're on the road right now in a very hostile atmosphere. Big scoreboard, nice turf, bleachers on all 4 sides. You got media from all around here. You knew Fitch was going to have to stay with it early on. I think Austintown Fitch are definitely going to want to keep it within 1 possession in the first half. Like you said, Massillon gets the ball to start the second half. And if you're Austintown Fitch, this is a big defensive drive right here. Massillon punched it right down your throat. 81-yard drive, did not have to throw it, 81 yards on the ground. That got them out to the early lead.
And when we were talking in the pregame too, Roma, one thing we hinted at and noted at for this Massillon Washington team, if there is a weakness on that defense, it's going to be in that secondary. A little bit inexperience we saw right there. Jaden Ely able to burn the secondary.
And what did we say right before that timeout? The Fitch wide receiving core already has so many big receptions early this season. Jaden Ely adds right to that count right there.
You talk about how big momentum is in the sport of football. No doubt that was huge as far as just evening things momentum-wise for the Falcons. Going squib kick, trying to play it safe, and they are able to get that tackle, but they allow some yardage on the play as the Tigers will start at their own 40.
Yeah, very good starting field position here for Massillon. Started on their own 19. Their last drive, now they're going to start out towards the 40-yard line at about the 38, 39. But if you're Fitch coming into this drive now, you got to tell your big boys up front that are getting the big looks, Brian Robinson, Xavier Dawn, this is your time to make a point right here. You're playing one of the best teams in the state. Show why you are so heavily recruited.
As Fitch, no doubt, looking to slow down the run game of Massillon Washington. Like you said, ran it down the throats of the Falcon defense the first time out. Looking to do the same. Play action, nice play action, looking to go for the home run play all at once, and hold by Dan Evans III. Going to get called for PI, no doubt, and it's going to move Massillon Washington into Falcon territory.
So we saw the first time tonight, Massillon decides to go to the air. You're going your big wide receiver down on the bottom of the screen. Evans gets called for the pass interference. That'll give Massillon great field position.
They'll start at their 45-yard line of the Falcons now. 15 yards on the PI call for the Tigers.
The intended wide receiver for Massillon was number 18, Ardell Banks, who's their leading receiver. Coming into tonight, he has 18 catches and 5 touchdowns on the season.
It was 6'4", 185 against 5'8", 155 in the defensive backcourt. So
that's definitely something Massillon's going to be looking to exploit.
In that case, too, Dan Evans just looked to get themselves, to commit the PI call instead of give up the big pass. Another big run, though, for the Tigers sets them up really well on second down.
You see some of the guys on the Massillon sideline kind of giving it to Dan Evans a little bit of gamesmanship. A lot of good athletes on the field. They're going to let each other hear it when they're on the sidelines and when they're on the field.
Absolutely. After exchanging scores and back-to-back drives, why not? Like we said, two really good football teams going at it right now, and you expect nothing less than high-quality talent on that field. Massillon Washington, second down now. Sending tight end into motion, handing a big hit up the middle. Falcons, though, can't bring him down until late. Hold it to a third down, but it's only a 3rd and 1 coming up for the Tigers.
Nice job by big Josh Fitzgerald of getting through the line and getting in the backfield. But when you have a back like Wiltrell Hartson, he's going to be a hard guy to bring down. He was able to get that negative into a positive, and he's able to set up Massillon with 3rd down and very short, which we've seen so much here tonight already.
And big 3rd down opportunity. You would think probably 4-down territory anyway for the Tigers in this position with the run game that they have. Slaughter out of the shotgun, handoff, trying to find the edge, getting the edge. Nice carry and nice cut by Hartson to get the first down run to the 30-yard line, and that's where the Washington Tigers are going to take over on first.
Yeah, now 3 for 3 is Massillon on 3rd down attempts here tonight. Each 3rd down was less than 5 yards to go. That is exactly what you want if you're a head coach. You don't mind having 3rd downs when you don't have a lot of yardage to pick up. And Massillon's game plan, I'm sure they're going right to it early on. Attack the running game, exhaust this defensive line. They're controlling the line of scrimmage.
Backed up to the 32 from the 30. 1st down and 10. Again, the handoff tripped near the line, and only a gain of 3, maybe 4. One of the fewest yards held on a carry today for running back Wiltrell Hartson.
And I think that's big for Austintown Fitch. On these first downs, you do not want to give up the big yardage. You don't want to give up big yardage on any down and distance to go, but especially first down, you want to keep these guys kind of close to that 10 yards to go so they don't just have to kind of hand off and get another first down. Massillon already 5 first downs here tonight to Fitch's 3.
Minute 20 left in the first quarter of play. Slaughter. Snap, handoff, no, keep to himself. Play action, he goes into a slide after crossing the 30. Only got about a yard, maybe 2, past the original line of scrimmage. So 3rd down and 5 coming up now for the Tigers.
Yep, we're approaching 1 minute to go. Now 1 minute exactly to go here in our first quarter. It's going to set up another 3rd down for Massillon here. This is one of their longest 3rd downs of the night. We'll see if Fitch can come up with a big stop. 3rd down and 5.
Could definitely be 4-down territory depending on what Massillon does here on 3rd. The snap, handoff again goes to Hartson. Hartson, they're trying to stop him short. He's near that first, but I think he's short.
He is.
It's going to bring up 4th down and decision time. I mean, you've had a great run game. You only need about a yard on the carry, but do you run the risk of, if you don't get it, giving it back to the Falcons and a chance for them to take a lead?
Yeah, that was a nice job by DJ Williams and Davion Pritchard. You're going to have to stack bodies on the ball, get 2 to 3 hats to the ball. 15 seconds remaining here in our first quarter. We'll see if Massillon decides to run another play. Yeah. 15 on the play clock. Game and play clock decided by 4 seconds.
May try to get Fitch to jump. 5 seconds. Fitch going to need to stay disciplined. They go for it. The handoff up the middle. Oh, it's a 1st down run. Still on his feet before finally getting taken down is number 34, Dorian Pringle that time.
And that'll take us to the end of the first quarter, Ty. This is all we asked for, a highly competitive ball game. We have just that so far, Massillon in the Fitch red zone.
7-7 Tigers Falcons after a 1. We'll be back with the start of the second quarter. Ty Bartel, Anthony Romo, YSNLive.com. Don't go anywhere.
Quality, customer service, and integrity. Those are the 4 words that have driven our success since 1957 at Joe Dickey Electric.
Joe Dickey Electric is one Mahoning Valley landmark business that stays current with the requirements of our customers. Family owned and managed, we are an electrical contractor and energy solutions provider. Every member of our team adds to his or her skill set through ongoing training. Residential, commercial, industrial, automotive, and more. We keep ahead of the needs of our customers with a fleet of more than 50 vehicles and 24/7 emergency service, so you're never left in the dark.
No time to waste. We're right back here in the second quarter. Massillon Washington with a first down, looking to get some room as they're able to get a big
interception.
Interception. Oh, my goodness. They got it, too. I was wondering what it was like. Pickoff by the Falcons as it was number 2, Davion Pritchard. What a pickoff by the Falcons. And, wow, we talked about those turnovers, and I mean, I lost sight of where the football went initially, and then I saw a couple Falcons go down with it. They came up with the football. It's an interception.
That is huge by Davion Pritchard. Stepped right in front of the intended wideout. They've been running replays on the scoreboard here tonight. We're trying to see if they're going to run one right there. Only thing that sucks for Fitch is they're on their own 1-yard line.
Fitch now. Chance to get some scoring, but like you said, they are back against the wall. Safety opportunity for Massillon Washington. Dangerous territory for Fitch, who got the big turnover, but now risks losing it. Try to go up the middle, give themselves some space. Maybe got a few inches, a half yard if that, but not much running room to be had for the Falcons.
Yeah, Austintown Fitch went to the quarterback sneak there with Deshaun Vaughn. You just want to try to give yourself some space with your end zone in your own back. Massillon, well, of course, was expecting that right there. Austintown Fitch not going anywhere. 2nd down and 10 from the 1.
Falcons, backs against the wall, trying to get some traction. First down sits at the 11. Toss, screen pass, able to get some room as close to a first down, but a nice play by Fitch to get themselves set up at the 10. And now 3rd down and short, much more manageable for the Falcons.
Yeah, 3rd down and very manageable now for Fitch. I believe that was Dan Evans, the 3rd on the reception on the outside and on the bubble screen.
It was nice, too. I mean, making the catch in the end zone, but to keep that composure when you make a catch in the end zone and risk a safety to make a great cut like Dan Evans did. Big as Fitch now at 3rd down and 2 to go. 10:45 and ticking. Second quarter of play. Play clock at 10 seconds.
And if you're Fitch and if you can get a first down here, you would love to take a lot of time off of this second quarter clock.
As whistles getting blown, and timeout going to be by Massillon as they take their first timeout of the game. As one timeout being used each side, both teams going to be left with 2. We're at 10:34 here in Paul Brown Tiger Stadium in Massillon, Ohio. Be back after this timeout. Ty Bartel, Anthony Romo, right after this.
21 News delivers the news as it happens, using the latest technology from where it happens.
Live here outside the Mahoning
On air, online,
Wednesday afternoon weather update. Very dangerous.
and on the 21 News social media platforms. 21 News, the Valley's only locally owned source for trusted news since 1953.
Right back here out of a Massillon, Washington timeout. It's 3rd down and 2 for Austintown, looking for a first down in their own territory at the 10. Vaughn out of the shotgun, takes the snap, handoff, tries to go up the middle, bumping into bodies, very close. I think he got the first down run by Jamel James. And wow, using great power, James really just stuck his feet in the ground, used his legs to his advantage there, and pushed himself to a first.
You talk about an unstoppable force meets an immovable object. You saw it right there. I'm not too sure who the defensive end was for Massillon on this side, but him and James met each other, and both of their momentum stopped, but just 1 yard too much. Fitch will keep the drive alive.
Fitch now goes back to the passing game. Oh, what a slip by Dan Evans III, who gets the first down, or excuse me, actually reception by Jay Neely. As Jay Neely on the far side. Jay Neely had the touchdown earlier. He's no doubt been a huge target in this Falcons offense as primary target number 1 the last few weeks.
And you go back to the first quarter, that very long 3rd down touchdown, 55-yard pass from Deshaun Vaughn to Jaden Ely to get Fitch on the board. What a confidence boost that was. Right there, that play showed Fitch that they belong in this game.
Couple first downs now for the Falcons as they are continuing to drive at the 30. Back in the pocket, uncorking big pass down the field. Ely looking for the measure, couldn't get it as the pass hit the hands of Ely, but well defended too by Massillon. They had the defense prepared for it. Single back in the backfield with Ely.
That was Zach Liebler, who was on the coverage for Massillon, did a good job staying right with Ely. Deshaun Vaughn, you can tell with him too in the backfield, he's starting to get a little bit of confidence. He was real short with his passes early on, going to the guys right down in the flats. Now he's starting to uncork a little bit.
I think it's important, too, against that Massillon secondary to just keep them aware of that deep pass and keep them on their toes for it. Mix in a few of those if you can. Well-timed risks can certainly be beneficial for Fitch. Again on the play action, Dan Evans is the reception with it. Dan Evans, oh my God, still on his feet, able to slide in after a gain of about 5, half the yardage needed for the first.
And, of course, you always got to wonder, with a team like Massillon coming off a win like they had against St. Ed's last week, against the number 19 ranked team in the nation and the number 1 ranked team in the state of Ohio in Division I, you always got to wonder if they're going to be a little bit, you call it a victory hangover at the professional level. You obviously wouldn't call it that here at the high school level. But a team like Massillon, you got to wonder if they were really keyed in early on. They're going to have to be now.
3rd and 5 from the 35 of Austintown. 4 receivers set. Went right back, tried to get it to Dan Evans III, off the mark and off the money as it was a bit too high for the reception. 4th down and 5, and likely a punt coming up for Austintown.
It was a good drive by Fitch. Got a couple first downs, got the ball out of your own end zone. You always want to be positive. Punt squad going to come out here. You need a big punt. Special teams, you got to flip the field.
Absolutely, and for Austintown right now, that was huge for them to just get out of the goal line range, honestly, too. Now they can set themselves up defensively with a good punt, like you said.
But also, it's a big victory for the Massillon defense. Didn't give up any points after giving away some free ones that you had on the last drive.
Ruggles on the punt. High arcing, takes a bounce, and it bounces the wrong way, out of bounds, just shy of the 40. So some quality field position for the Washington Tigers to take over on drive number 3. Well, drive 1, rushing touchdown. Drive 2, turnover. So you kind of got an extreme from both worlds. What is this third drive looking like for the Washington Tigers in your opinion, Ant?
Well, some very good field position for Massillon yet again. Of course, they had 81 rushing yards on that first drive. Wiltrell Hartson, 12 carries for 87 yards in that first quarter. Of course, you're going to think Massillon's going to go back to the run game early here and try to open up the passing game later on in the drive.
Slaughter goes to the passing game, screen pass, open look, no, coming off and making a heck of a tackle that time. Great job by Fitch defensively as trying to get a number. I think that was Ely on defense.
That was Jaden Ely.
Ely came off of his guy and timed that perfectly, held Massillon to just a 1-yard gain on the pass.
And that's always the fun part of our job. Massillon goes completely against what I thought they were going to do. They passed the first play, but the game goes on. It's the best part about sports broadcasting. You let the game itself do the talking.
For sure, for sure. I mean, not at the level of predicting games like the other Romo we know in the game.
Not there just yet.
Still the best in the business, in my personal opinion. As again went to the pass game, and again, minimal gain, only about 3 yards on it, as had to really go and dig it out to get that one that time. Was their receiver that time. I think it was number 2 for the Massillon Tigers.
I believe that was 21, Braylon Tolles.
Excuse me, yeah, 21 to Brandon Tolles from Jalen Slaughter. But again, minimal gain, 3rd down and 5 looking like for the Tigers.
And we talk about Braylon Tolles. Actually, we'll get into him after this play. Big 3rd down and 5 for Massillon.
Out of the shotgun, Slaughter sending into motion. Slaughter looks for the pass. Ardell Banks, that guy, man, came up with a big catch, still trying to fight his way upfield, but able to come in. Reinforcements make the tackle, but Washington now at the Fitch 41-yard line, and a chance for them to get themselves back in front after a big 1st down.
Ardell Banks, just another name on the long list of great Massillon wideouts. Bank, currently a Division I recruit, just opened back up his recruitment, stands at 6'4", 185. A Massillon guy that we just saw get his first touchdown for the Ohio State Buckeyes, Jaden Ballard, last week against Toledo, the school that Banks was committed to.
Washington 1st and 10. Slaughter, handoff. There goes Hartson. Hartson has some room to run. Hartson gets tackled near the 25 on the cusp of the red zone. The Tigers are, as they move deeper into Falcon territory.
So Massillon has had no trouble moving the ball here tonight. It was just that miscue on their last drive by Jalen Slaughter, trying to fit it in the gap. We saw the interception by Davion Pritchard. We'll see if the Tigers elect to go to the run game more often here this deep in Fitch territory.
6:55 and ticking in the first half of play. Tigers with possession in Fitch territory, just on the outside of the red zone. Slaughter with 2 receivers out to his left, takes the handoff, hands it off to Hartson. Hartson looking for a big 1st down carry. Looks like he got about 4, maybe 5 on 1st, setting him up on a very manageable 2nd down and 5 to go.
Yeah, Wiltrell Hartson, he's such a physical runner. If you're Fitch, you definitely want to try to get some guys punching out for that ball. Force as many turnovers as you can here tonight because this Massillon offense is humming.
107 rushing yards already for Hartson.
It's impressive.
Big game already for Hartson. They're going to go back to that run game, trying to get that edge. Oh, nice tackle on the edge. DJ Williams able to come up with the shoelace tackle to hold the Tigers to a 3rd down at the 20.
And on the carry right there, we saw number 32, Peyton Mitchell, 5'10" sophomore, get the carry. We saw Dorian Pringle go down at the end of the first quarter. We'll see if he comes back in the game eventually here. But the sophomore Mitchell getting some big carries, splitting carries with Wiltrell Hartson.
Needing another defensive stop. Falcons backed against the wall yet again. Tigers looking to break the tie. We're at 5:35 in the first half of play. Slaughter on the snap, rolls out to his left, looking for it. The southpaw throws on the dime and gets a big 1st down catch from his receiver near the 15-yard line. Looks like they're going to spot him at the 13. I think it was Ardell Banks again.
It was either Banks or Kyler Wiggins. I don't know if that was 18 or 19. If he's coming off the field, that was Wiggins.
It looks like, yeah, it was 19.
So nice job by Wiggins, the 5'8" junior, finding the boundary, getting right in front of it, and he'll take a step out of bounds after getting that catch. It's very tough for Fitch. This Massillon offense is potent. You have one of the best backs in the state, and then one of the best young quarterbacks as well.
1st and 10 for Massillon Washington, who just bullies their way up the middle, and they're going to set themselves up really nicely on 2nd down now as they're inside the Falcon 10.
Yeah, this is definitely a wake-up call for this Fitch defense. I can't name a game this season that they have not controlled the line of scrimmage, but Wiltrell Hartson is getting everything that he wants early on here. He's moving this line along with his big boys up front. I think if Austintown Fitch can stay composed, though, throughout the ball game, they're going to have a good shot here in the second half. Still tied at 7, less than halfway to go here in our second quarter.
Handoff again and trying to get that tackle very close to the touchdown, but it's enough for a 1st down and 1st and goal from about the 1-yard line for Massillon.
And Massillon is doing an amazing job this drive of taking time off of the clock. Like you mentioned earlier, Ty, the Tigers will get the ball to start the second half, so you're going to let this play clock run down as much as you can. You don't want to give Fitch much time to have the opportunity to tie it or take the lead before the break.
They place the ball on the 2-yard line. First and goal for the Tigers. Options to the left and right. Handoff to Massillon, looking to break the plane, and he got it. Line judge calls touchdown. Tigers back in front.
Will Trailhartson, one of the most physical backs that I have personally seen play in, play out. He's going to go right up the gut, and he's going to come right for you. Brian Robinson, very slow to get up for Fitch. He's limping a little bit. That's definitely a guy that you do not want to see get injured if you're the Falcons. We'll see if Robinson can tough it out, stay on the field.
Back to kick, extra point. Again for the Tigers, it's going to be number 5, Vinny Keller. Keller 1 for 1 from extra point distance. This one, a very close one on the extra point attempt, but does split the uprights, and the Tigers take over by 7. As 4:24 remains in the half, Fitch to get the ball back. Tigers slated to get the second half kickoff. We'll be back with the kickoff to the Falcons and the Austintown possession right after this on ysnlive.com.
Winter, spring, summer, and fall. Mill Creek Metro Parks is your park for all seasons. Make a memory in the park. Plan your visit today at millcreekmetroparks.org.
Welcome back, everyone, as here on ysnlive.com, run through some scoring updates for you as we pay attention to all the other games going on the network.
Canfield and Dover tied up at 7 in the second quarter. Lowville on top of Waterloo 28-6. South Range on top of Girard 20-6 in a battle of any 8 unbeatens. Jefferson on top of Hubbard 13-0. Two teams that are vying for playoff position in D4 Region 13. McDonald on top of Springfield 14-0.
Wow, big lead for McDonald, 14-0 on Springfield. That's a shocker, as Jamel James is the one who gets the carry on the kickoff return. Near the 25 is where he was tackled, and not too often he's placed in those kind of positions. That was a great kick by Massillon.
Yeah, that was a nice job by Massillon, angling that kick, not letting any of the deep guys take that one out, and that was a big tackle by number 30, Dier Pringle, for the Tigers. Austintown Fitch will have favorable field position, though, at the 26-yard line. 4:19 to go in our second quarter. Fitch looking to tie this ball game up before the break.
You got to feel like somebody told Ohio when fall was going to start, because it seemed like the second that fall began, technically in Ohio,
it got chilly.
We got fall weather. 55 degrees right now, our temperature in Paul Brown Tiger Stadium. Falcons on offense, trailing again by 7, looking to even things back up. DJ Williams gets the run. DJ Williams on a nice carry on the first down, and probably one of the most yards we've seen on a first down run from the Falcons.
Yeah, that was one of the best first down carries or carries of any down that Fitch has had so far here tonight. You got to wonder, you want to go to the run because that's your strong suit, but with this little time remaining, under 4 minutes to go, you're going to have to go to that passing game soon. Fitch probably setting up the play action, I'd imagine.
4 receivers out wide for the Falcons, sending into motion Williams. Williams gets faked, look that way. Vaughn looking for some yards, and I believe a penalty going to go on Fitch. We saw a flag come in, likely a hold.
Yeah, this one may be coming back. We're looking at the left side of the Austintown Fitch offensive line. You're looking at guys like number 50 for the Falcons, Rocco Odom. You're looking at guys like Mark Stancorp. We'll see who it's on.
Yeah, they call the holding penalty on Austintown. That's going to back them up 10 yards, and something that you just can't do if you're the Falcons now. They have to pretty much pick up a first down back at the original line of scrimmage, needing 10.
Yeah, so second down and long here for Fitch. 3:42 to go in our first half. But yet again, I mean, what a great atmosphere to be in right now if you're Fitch. These are the types of drives that you want to simulate in the regular season.
3:35 and ticking. Falcons checking off on the sidelines out of the shotgun. Vaughn takes the snap, rolls out right, pitches it to Williams. Williams looking for a block. Williams gets the block. Williams gets 5 yards plus some, it looks like, as he's rushed out of bounds. And looked like a replay of the first down run by Williams as he sets him up on good position for third.
A name that we haven't called at all here tonight so far is number 1, Cam Smith. He was lined up in that trips look to the top of your screen. Looks like they're going to flip that now. They're going to have 3 guys lined up to the bottom. Watch for Smith in that slot. Actually, he's going to be in front in the stack look here in the slot.
Cam Smith over with Jay Neely as well as Dominic Perry. Perry had a big catch against Bennett last week. Looking for receivers downfield, throwing it deep. Oh, in front, Ely looking for the pass as it missed the target. Almost an interception for the Tigers. Couldn't come up with it near the 30. Dangerous pass, but it's 4th down now for Fitch.
Ah, that's brutal. You had the strong safety, Ryan Page. Actually, that was not Page. That was number 10, Zach Liebler, in coverage. Overran Ely. He extended his hands. The ball was just too far out of his reach. That could have been one of the biggest momentum-shifting plays for Fitch tonight, but instead they'll punt it away with 3:10 to go in the first half.
Dangerous here because it can allow the Tigers to go 2 for 1 and take a real big commanding lead going into halftime, and a 2-for-1 opportunity to come out of the half with the ball as well.
We're going to see Massillon call a timeout right here.
As that'll be timeout number 2 for the Tigers, leaving them with 1 in the half. Falcons still with 2 timeouts in the half, looking to punt it away on 4th and 3 likely. But Massillon Washington knows those fake plays that are deep in the pocket of TJ Parker and wants to make sure they're ready for anything. But we look at some games around the area too, Romo. I mean, there's some other premier matchups, no doubt. Girard South Range is one of those.
And we're looking at some of the games on the board here. Of course, one of our local schools, Harding, who's not yet a YSN school. We hope to have them in the future. Down to St. V's 7-6. Canton McKinley over Hoover 35-9 in that one. We saw Austintown Fitch hand it to McKinley earlier on in the season. A lot of big games around Northeast Ohio, not only in our area, but extended up north and to our west. We're proud to be here tonight, though. Arguably the biggest game on YSN's network here tonight.
Definitely, as we're excited for this game too, and we're excited to be here in Paul Brown Tiger Stadium and continue being the home of Austintown Athletics here on your sports network. And we always are happy and proud to have the Austintown Fitch Falcons as a part of your sports network. Great support that we get from that community.
And the Fitch offense coming out on the field, 4th and 3 on their own 33.
Taking risks at 3rd and 10, and another timeout by Massillon Washington. As Washington uses all their timeouts, they have no timeouts now in the half at 3:10. So if they're going to go,
that's interesting.
They're going to go on offense. They're going to have to go in the hurry up.
We'll see if Austintown Fitch was doing that just to try to force another timeout being called so that Massillon doesn't have any left on their last push to extend the lead before the break, or if TJ Parker was really looking for a play like that. I wouldn't be surprised. We've seen Parker take some chances.
I mean, you gotta take your risks when you can, right? And whether or not they're actually going to snap it here or not, Massillon has to respect it as an offense when you see DJ Williams, Jamel James, and what Deshaun Vaughn can do. Massillon has to respect the offensive Fitch. They can't sell out on a pass here necessarily either. So Massillon and Coach Moore wants to make sure that they are on the same page for this. Absolutely.
And it's currently 4th down and 3 for Austintown Fitch. And from up to this point of the season, what we've seen from Fitch that has kind of gotten them here to this great start is that running game. Jamel James and DJ Williams, I feel like they're kind of shying away from it early on. Massillon has done a good job early on at the line of scrimmage, but we see Fitch as they're going to send the punt unit out right here.
Yeah, able to draw both timeouts from the Tigers, who have none left. But with 3:10, Massillon set to get the ball back. Ruggles for the punt, able to get a high punt, looking to take a bounce just in front of the 30, and this one favors the Falcons as it bounces inside the 30, right in front of the 25, where the Tigers will take over with a tick under 3 to go.
And that's a big kick by Ruggles there. Massillon didn't have anyone deep to return that punt, so you knew if Fitch was able to get a nice bounce after the heavy kick that they were going to set themselves up in a way where they flipped the field. So Massillon's offense now going to come out just under 3 minutes to go, 2:59 left in our second quarter. If Austintown Fitch wants to stay in this ball game, they're going to have to keep Massillon from putting any more points on the board here in the first half.
You got to figure, because if you go down 21-7 with Washington getting the ball out of the half, it definitely puts you in a very steep hole if you're Austintown Fitch. Still got 2 timeouts left, so if you can get a quick defensive stop, still a chance to get possession again, but it comes with stopping that running game. Able to get a tackle right on their runner. I think that was Hartson that time, who got the carry only for a gain of about 2 or 3, one of the minimal gains we've actually seen Hartson held to today.
Yeah, we were expecting coming into tonight that it was going to be a battle of the ground game. Fitch only 31 yards on the ground, Massillon Washington 146.
Yeah, and it's been more passing game than rushing game right now for Fitch offensively. Staying in the pocket, breaking out of it, and a great blocking. It's going to allow him to get himself to the 45, does Slaughter, right around midfield, got out of bounds at 2:26.
It's kind of hard to remember sometimes that Jalen Slaughter is only a sophomore at the quarterback position for Massillon Washington. He's going to have 3, this year and then 2 more full seasons after. I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up at a very big Division I school when his time is done here at Massillon.
When you get to start in a program like this as a freshman, not too many I can think of in this prestigious program that start as a freshman. So Slaughter, in prestigious name. Nice blocking up front, and another pass interference going to be thrown. Looks like on Dan Evans III, a slight bump on the near side sideline. And certain officials might not always be quick to the flag, but you see it on that one. Enough to sell a PI call too, and I mean bump him off his route.
And that'll now put Massillon in Fitch territory. So, but back to what we were saying about Slaughter. I mean, this is a college atmosphere. This is a small college atmosphere here at Massillon. You experience it every single week. We were talking to some of the fans pregame. They were saying the season opener against Archbishop Moeller, arguably 12,000 fans in attendance. That's like a MAC game right there.
For sure. Great attendance numbers here at Paul Brown Stadium for the Massillon Washington Tigers at the 40-yard line. Up by 7 already. Washington again looking for the pass, and Ardell Banks has it broken up. Nice play. Dan Evans III. He's been caught on some of those PI plays. No doubt made a heck of a play against the much bigger receiver in Banks.
We've seen Massillon a lot early on in this first half going right to Dan Evans III. They can see the size difference between Banks and Evans in that matchup. Nice job by Evans, though, playing the bigger role right there, forcing it out of the hands of Banks, who looked like at first he was able to haul it in.
2nd down and 10 now at the Fitch 40 for the Tigers. Looking to pass, they go in the screen game, open field in front of Hartson, pushed out of bounds, but not before the first down, and the flag coming in afterwards, and likely a late hit coming on the Falcons.
We saw that same exact play 2 weeks ago against Ursuline for Fitch, just holding on a little bit too long, kind of throwing the guy out of bounds once he already got past that white lining. So that'll be even more yardage. Head coach TJ Parker, of course, not pleased at all with a little bit of undisciplinedness from his defense just over 2 minutes ago in our first half.
Got to hold that composure for sure. Can't give any extra yards to this Tigers team now with 2:10 to go in the first half. Massillon Washington, chance to get some more points on the Falcons before the half.
So yeah, they're now very deep in Fitch territory, inside the 15.
I was going to say, I think this is going to move them right around the 15, if not right at the 15. So inside the red zone, right around the goal line. 1st and 10, first down the 5-yard line of the Falcons.
Watch Banks in the slot, guarded by Cam Smith.
Handoff, looking to go up the middle, stack formation, minimal gain, 2 yards on the run for the Tigers. But that's a play you got to figure that is intended to burn some clock.
Yeah, now under 2 minutes to go here in our first half, 155 and counting. 25 rushes for 163 yards for Massillon, 12 rushes for 31 for Fitch.
Fitch trying desperately to keep the Tigers out of the end zone. Under 2 minutes to go. Massillon Washington looking to take a big lead into the half. The snap looking to make a good pass. Nice catch by Hartson. Hartson bangs off of a tackler but gets himself situated in the 5. 1st and goal right around the 3.
That was Deshaun Vaughn who was able to get the contact there for Fitch and able to get Hartson to come down. But 1st down and goal, 1:30 to go in our first half. You're going to definitely see Massillon slow down here. Try to get at least under a minute before they can try to get their way into the end zone.
1:22, Tigers on the cusp of adding another score. Go back to that ground game, punch it up the middle, touchdown Massillon.
Well, I guess when you're good, you don't have to worry about time that much. Extra point pending, 2-possession ball game now.
20-7, and now it becomes almost critical with 2 timeouts and 1:16 left as the fireworks get fired off here in Massillon, Washington. It's imperative that the Falcons come away with some points. Even a field goal here, you're going to take anything you can, but you need some more points before halftime.
And we've seen Fitch take advantage of some risky opportunities so far here in the first half. I want to talk about that 55-yard touchdown pass from Vaughn to Ely. So we've seen Fitch capitalize on some risky plays so far. You're going to have to try to air it out a little bit here before the break. You definitely want to get at least a field goal on the board before half.
21-7, Massillon Washington leads it. We have 1:16 left in the half as Fitch slated to get the ball back. We'll be back with the kickoff for the Falcons, and the Falcons ensuing possession right after this on ysnlive.com.
Jimmy Sutton here, Director of Isle, Purple Cat, and Golden String. We are happy to support YSN and two of my favorite people, Scotty Mincher and Super Dave O'Malley. We are an agency that provides services for adults with disabilities. We infuse humor, passion, and joy into their lives. If you know of any folks with disabilities that need our assistance, please contact us.
Right back here, second quarter of play, minute 16 left. Massillon, Washington, slated to kick off to the Falcons, and that kick gets some arc on it, and it is hauled in by Cam Smith. Smith, looking to make some cuts, goes right into the sea of Tigers and sets himself up, and the Falcons right around the 27.
So 73 yards to go until the end zone if you're Fitch. 1:10 to go in our second quarter of play. If you're the Falcons, the first two plays of this drive are definitely going to be indicative of how you want to treat this last drive before the break. You don't want to try to turn it over again if you're Fitch, but you do not want to go down 14 with Massillon getting the ball to start the second half.
The only takeaway you have from this whole thing, if you're the Falcons, is you control the clock. You have 2 timeouts. Massillon has none. So you have complete and total control of the clock and what you want to do with the final 70 ticks that remain on the half. Falcons on first down, look to pass. They're going to go right to Jay Neely. Big target. Ely has a first down and more. Ely just burning the the Tiger defense in the secondary as just kicks on the afterburners, gets some more yards. That's a big play to set up Fitch.
That's huge. First play of the drive, we were just saying, you want the first 1 or 2 plays to be big and give you good field position. Fitch already in Massillon territory.
At the 42-yard line, Falcons looking for some scores as Vaughn on the pass, throws a dime pass to Dan Evans III at the 30. Back-to-back first down dimes by Deshaun Vaughn Jr. And the 30-yard line is where Fitch will take over. 47 seconds and ticking. Still 2 timeouts left for the Falcons. Liking to hurry up? No, they're going to spike it, actually. So keeping the timeouts, Falcons would rather take the loss of down, keep their 2 timeouts on 2nd and 10. And you got to figure, though, Romo, and I mean, you got to credit T.J. Parker for being the mastermind that he is. This is 4-down territory regardless.
Yeah.
So you're using 3 downs regardless. You're just giving up one of the 4 downs that you were going to have in favor of keeping 2 timeouts. And if you're going to pass like the Falcons are, you can now stop the clock twice, which is big for Fitch. 2nd down, 10 at the 30. Vaughn fakes the handoff, looking to pass, has some time to. Oh, Dan Evans III gets the reception, still on his feet, trying to stay on his feet. They're saying he's still up, and the flag coming in late. They tackled him out of bounds.
Oh, my gosh.
What an undisciplined play by the Tigers, if that's the call. You can't make that tackle when he's going out of bounds. He's giving himself up. That's a huge play if the Tigers get committed.
I am very surprised that our ref called that, though, because that was a bang-bang play. I wouldn't have called it. I didn't even think about it.
That was a bang-bang play, but you got to figure, too, as far as Coach Moore is looking at this Tiger squad.
But you're looking at 1st and goal now.
That's a play that just cannot happen if you're Massillon, Washington, where you give up those extra yardage at the end of that. Fitch now, golden opportunity, 28 seconds and ticking, try to get a score back, make this a 7-point ball game before the half. Fake on the handoff. Oh, he's got the edge. Trying to get into the end zone. Oh, he flipped in. Call it a touchdown to Sean Vaughn. Big carry. Quarterback keeper. Falcons within 8. Huge.
Wow.
Huge score. We talked about it, Ant. They ran down a field on a Massillon, Washington defense in 52 seconds.
52 seconds to go, about 70 yards. Deshaun Vaughn reading the defense, keeping it himself, lunging over, man, to get into the end zone. That is just what Fitch needed going to the break. A little bit of momentum for the road team.
How big is that score now for Fitch before the halftime?
Got to make the extra point here. They jumped. Massillon jumped. Do you send the offense back out and try to go for 2?
It's questionable because if you remember, too, a blocked field goal was one key play by the Massillon defense last year in Austintown that really helped separate themselves in that game. So Fitch might go for 2. That way you don't have to depend on those extra point kicks as much. But
well, good thing we're not the coaches because T.J. Parker is keeping the kicking squad out there.
With Josiah Burneye, though, one of the best kickers, already is going to have his name at the tops in multiple extra points a game, field goals in Falcon history. He's a guy you trust when it comes to kicking. As they keep it, it's a fake looking to pass it, throws the lob, and it's picked off. Massillon, Washington, going to get stopped up near the 15. Falcons, I don't even know if it was a fake.
That was a fake.
No, it wasn't
that was
a
just
fake.
a bad snap.
Bad snap, and it makes an 8-point difference between the Falcons and the Tigers.
That's big. That is a very big
And
play.
Coach Parker having a couple discussions with head referee and making sure he just gets an explanation on something. I don't know what he's talking about in that situation. I didn't see anything in particular immediately, but having a discussion with the officials. There's 18 seconds left on the clock. Massillon, Washington is slated to get the ball back.
As we look at a replay on the scoreboard, I don't know what they were necessarily talking about, but at least Fitch gets it down to a one-possession game. I don't know. I just had a bad feeling right when they scored that I knew that was maybe a little bit too good to be true that they were going to do that. But 8-point game right before the break.
Still a one-possession game.
One-possession game is all that matters. Burneye is going to come out for the kick here.
As if you're Fitch, it comes down to, and I don't think Massillon, Washington, unless they break away for a big play here on the kickoff, I don't think Massillon, Washington runs any offense. No timeouts. I think they take the lead into halftime if they are to get it back. Biggest thing to pay attention for, watch out for the fake, because Fitch has utilized that plenty of times to their advantage, and they wouldn't be scared to utilize it here again, especially considering they didn't use a timeout in that drive.
Yeah, somehow, some way. They just drove right down the field.
Burneye on the kick, on the squib. It's taken in at the 30. Washington looking to make a move towards the outside, tackled near the 47-yard line, near midfield, 12 seconds.
So now if you're Massillon, you're towards midfield, 12 seconds, no timeouts. You're going to look for a quick pass, get out of bounds, at least get enough yardage for a first down. I'm sure Slaughter could reach the end zone from here, but you definitely want to give him some better field position, or if you can get a big game, potentially get a field goal before the break.
As Washington comes out on offense, no timeouts left, 12 seconds. If they go for a pass, likely enough time to get 2 off.
And Massillon's on the near hash here, so you have Ardell Banks on the bottom of your screen. Watch for a quick out pass to your big receiver.
As Slaughter, before the snap, checks off on the sideline. 15 seconds on the play clock, 12 remaining on the game clock in the half. Slaughter looking for a pass. Slaughter breaks out of the pocket. Slaughter looking for Banks, and just like you called it, now you're getting better like the other Romo in the business, as the catch at the 40, 5 seconds left, and it more than gives Massillon a chance at the end zone.
Yeah, I've never been in this role before doing color commentary, but it does give me a lot of other opportunities to look at different things. I know what you got to look at as a play-by-play guy. Now I have all this free time while you're doing all the talking. I can see what else is going on the field.
We're glad to have you, too, as you've gotten to see this Falcons team a couple of times, but you've been a
just gonna take a knee.
Huge voice around the area, too, for YSN. So we're glad to have you in the booth with us tonight for a big one. And a big one this was, and we got a close one on our hands, too, going into halftime, as the Austintown Fitch Falcons trail the Massillon Washington Tigers by a score of 21-13. Massillon Washington slated to get the ball to start the third quarter. And like we do every week, we always continue with our halftime performances of the bands. Fitch is going to be first, followed by Massillon, so we'll keep that show on for you here on ysnlive.com. Quick takeaways, though, from that first half from you, Romo.
I was definitely impressed with Deshaun Vaughn for Austintown Fitch. The junior quarterback showed, or I guess I can say he impressed a lot to me in the first half, because Massillon's done a good job keeping the rushing attack at bay for the most part for Fitch. But your junior quarterback, playing in one of the biggest games of his career so far at Austintown Fitch, found the open guys. He controlled the offense, and that gave Fitch especially that big touchdown before the break. And then if you're looking for Massillon, of course, you look no further than Will Chell-Hartz, and we knew he was averaging 6.2 yards per carry coming into tonight on the season. He showed right there he's a physical back. He pretty much gets everything he wants at the line of scrimmage. Massillon's definitely going to lean on him in the second half. Up by 8 points, are going to get the ball to start the third quarter. You'd imagine they're going to try to attack him a lot. take some time off the clock, get a long drive to start the half.
It'll be an interesting second half. We got about a 20-minute intermission between halves. We'll be back with that second half and more on ysnlive.com. But until then, please enjoy both the Austintown Fitch Falcons and the Massillon Washington Tigers marching bands.
And now, it's showtime. Under the direction of Coach DeVille, assisted by Coach Schmidt, Christmas by Montana Bosna, Katie Calavina, and Carla Martin. And onto the field by drum major Miriam Joseph and Oldie the Tiger, Jasmine Montenegro. This is the 2022 edition of the Massillon Tigers Swing Band. With the Massillon tradition since 1938, fanfare, tiger rag, and carry on. Composer, playwright, and filmmaker, Lin-Manuel Miranda. We start with a hit from the 2021 Disney movie, Encanto. The tune might sound familiar, but as far as the name of the song, we don't talk about Bruno. by over 170 and 8th grade band members from the Massillon Junior High School. The 7th and 8th grade bands are under the direction of Chris Rusbaum, Montana Bosna, and Katie Calavina. As the bands combine for the remainder of our halftime show, we continue with more music from Lin-Manuel Miranda. The 2016 Disney movie, Moana, provides our next number. What can we say except, you're welcome. Our combined performance tonight with a song from the 2015 Tony Award winning Broadway musical Hamilton, a show that really put Miranda on the map. This song, as sung by King George III during the time of the American Revolution, is the king's way of lamenting his breakup with the colony. He assures them, you'll be back.
News delivers the news as it happens, using the latest technology from where it happens.
Live here outside the Mahoning County.
On air, online,
Wednesday afternoon weather update.
Very dangerous.
And on the 21 News social media platforms.
I'm on the road right now.
21 News, the Valley's only locally owned source for trusted news since 1953.
At Greenwood Chevrolet, we offer a worry-free experience for all our customers.
From sales to financing and even service, we'll help build your perfect vehicle.
And lock in your trade value
while your vehicle is being built.
No worries.
We guarantee financing,
regardless of your situation or credit history.
No worries.
And when your vehicle needs service,
our award-winning team will get you back on the road.
No worries.
That's what going the extra mile means. Only at Greenwood Chevrolet.
Quality, customer service, and integrity. Those are the 4 words that have driven our success since 1957 at Joe Dickey Electric.
Joe Dickey Electric is one Mahoning Valley landmark business that stays current with the requirements of our customers. Family owned and managed, we are an electrical contractor and energy solutions provider. Every member of our team adds to his or her skill set through ongoing training. Residential, commercial, industrial, automotive, and more. We keep ahead of the needs of our customers with a fleet of more than 50 vehicles and 24/7 emergency service, so you're never left in the dark.
Hi, this is Zell Bush.
Hi, this is Tom Clint. Hi, this is Steve Rossetto.
Hi, this is Ryan Miller.
Hi, this is Rich Sakui from WRS Wealth Advisors.
With our combined 80 years of experience,
WRS Wealth Advisors are the area's premier wealth and retirement specialists. Call 330-965-0370 to learn more about our individual and corporate financial planning services.
Or visit WRSwealth.com.
Go Raiders.
Go Dogs.
Go Cats. Go Dogs. Go Tigers.
Change. This one word can make you break out in a cold sweat. But with change comes wisdom, experience, and understanding. At Myers Family Insurance, we can help make changes in Medicare, insurance, and retirement a positive experience for you and your family. We've gone through changes, like our new office and new faces to help our family of clients too.
For all your Medicare needs, call Myers Family Insurance. Check us out online at MyersFamilyINS.com or find us on Facebook.
My guy keeps it 100% of the time. He wants all 100, won't settle for 99. And it's more than stats because there's people in those numbers. And I was one of the lost sheep. I'm so glad he cares for all 100. I'm 100% safe, 100% free, 100% love. I can be 100% me. He gave all 100 when they put him up on that tree. That's 100% passion for 100% free. So if I play in front of 100, or if I play in front of 2, there's an audience of 1 getting 100% of what I can do.
Welcome back in, everybody, as we get ready for the start of the third quarter here in Paul Brown Tiger Stadium in Massillon, Ohio. Ty Bartel, Anthony Romo on the call. Oh, it's the fake. The Falcons looking for the possession. It's a pile and a flag came out. And ball going to go against, or ball looks like Fitch had it, but a flag did come out near side sideline. Fitch says they have it, walking out with possession, but a flag on the near side of the field.
Looks like they were offsides on the
unfortunate if
kick.
That's the case too, because that's a possession for the Falcons if they aren't offsides.
That's brutal because now you're going to give Massillon great field position to start this third quarter. Our referee's looking it over. That completely caught me off guard.
Yeah.
Good thing you were looking, Ty, because I was kind of looking down, still getting all my papers situated.
I had a feeling with them in that huddle too. They always like to pull off that fake kickoff too, that fake onside kick where it looks like they're about to go long with it and come out of the huddle real quick.
Yep, okay, they're going to call illegal touching on Fitch. They're going to say the Falcons touched it before it went the 10 yards. So now Massillon has great field position inside Fitch territory. They're going to start with it on the Fitch 44.
It's tough. It's the risk-reward game you play. We've seen time and time again this season where Fitch rolls the dice and it works out for them. That case, though, penalty works against them. And like you said, you give Massillon Washington short field position. Now you got to really rely on your defense to come up big here to start. But like you said, too, we talked about it in the halftime, Ant. You didn't really want Massillon Washington to burn a lot of clock here.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
There's some give and take, and you realize, all right, if we do give up a touchdown, we can still have time to get back into this, which Fitch already proved they don't need a lot. Massillon Washington, and a flag coming in late. There might be a hold up front anytime you see it come from that back judge. Or actually, not the back judge. I should say the head referee throwing the flag that time, and yep, it is a hold on the Tigers, so back them up.
Watch out, Davion Pritchard went limping off the field quickly for Fitch. So they're going to have to go down in the depth chart.
He had a big interception earlier in the game.
He did.
But that hold occurred at the line of scrimmage, so it's going to be 1st and 20 now for the Tigers, and a penalty that works in the favor of the Falcons.
And that was Wiltrell Hartson on the carry. Hartson had 18 carries for 118 yards in the first half. Coming into tonight, he was averaging 6.2 yards per carry, had 6.6 on the average in the first half, so right around what he's used to doing.
Back on their own 45 now, the Tigers need 20 yards. They need the 45 of Fitch for a first. Handoff goes to Hartson. Hartson got 5. Hartson got 10. Call it 12 on the carry. Looks like he got, we'll give it 10 as where they're marking him back to the original line of scrimmage, but took that penalty away in favor of a down being taken off as well, 2nd and 10.
And that would have been huge there for Fitch. 1st down and 20, they're going for the rush. If you could have stopped them near the line of scrimmage and set up 2nd down and very long, that would have been big, but Hartson pretty much gets all the yardage that was taken off right back. 2nd down and 10 for Massillon.
2nd down and 10 indeed. Slaughter goes back on that handoff game, gives it to Hartson. Hartson just bouncing off of defenders. What running by Hartson. Can't stop him right now, Romo.
He is doing whatever he wants right now. That is one impressive athlete. Wiltrell Hartson just dominating. But if he decides to keep being physical like that, Fitch, they're going to have to be just as physical. Try to get some punches on the ball, see if they can force a turnover.
On the Falcon 30 now, Massillon Washington checking off on the side.
Almost 200 rush yards now for Massillon.
10:40 left in the third quarter. Back to the run game, and another 10-yard carry for the Massillon offense. That time it went to number 32, Peyton Mitchell.
And we saw Massillon in the first half turn the ball over via the passing game. Jalen Slaughter threw one towards the end zone. It was picked off by Davion Pritchard. Massillon here in the third quarter, if they can keep going to the run game, they're not even going to try to put it in the air. 151 pass yards for Fitch, only 50 for Massillon. They've done it all on the ground.
Trying to go right back on the ground as going to be a 1st down and more as past the 20 in the red zone of the Falcons as the Tigers trying to set up an opportunity to take a 2-possession lead.
That was Peyton Mitchell on the carry, the sophomore, only his 3rd carry of the night.
Tigers.
Yep, and Mitchell will stay in the backfield, so no Dorian Pringle. Wiltrell Hartson also on the sidelines.
Back to the handoff. Falcons try to plug the gap. Hold Massillon to a gain of about 4 on 1st.
Mark Stankorb getting in there on the tackle for Fitch. We see these Falcons starting to get a little physical down low. Some of the Massillon guys a little bit slow to get up. Fitch, we said a lot in the first half. You're going to have to be just as physical in the trenches.
9:30 and ticking in the third quarter of play. Tigers looking to go up by 2 possessions on the Falcons. And Tigers, again, on the fake snap, always checking off at that sideline now, coming out in a different rhythm, looks like, as Hartson looking to just carry himself into the touchdown, but the Falcons able to pull him back away from the end zone, but it's a 1st and goal, very close setup for Massillon Washington.
We have no problem zooming in a little bit on the field view here because everyone knows what's coming right here. It's going to be another handoff to Wiltrell Hartson. Can Fitch stand up at the line and keep him out?
Hartson a chance to get up by 2 possessions on the Falcons. Handoff game up the middle. Nice stop by the Falcons to hold him on no gain on 1st down carry. Second down.
Only thing that hurts us here is this pull.
Yeah.
It's about where the ball is going. Nothing we can do about it, but you have the split back look in the backfield of Hartson and Dorian Pringle. That's over 400 pounds of running back in the backfield joining Jalen Slaughter. We'll see what he decides to go to here.
Ardell Banks was on the wide far side of the field, but they go up the middle and they get the touchdown. Breaking the plane, says the far line judge, and it's a 27-13 lead for the Tigers.
So Wiltrell Hartson, another touchdown. We look back to the first half, he had 2. That's now his 3rd here tonight. He is just looking mighty impressive.
218 in the rush yard category for the Tigers through a half and some change of play. The kick is up, and it splits the uprights yet again. Tigers up by 15.
And you go back to that onside kick to start the half thinking, man, that was Fitch's chance. They had the chance.
It really was. And now Fitch with 8:23, 4 minutes, a little bit less than 4 minutes come off the clock, 3:37 to be exact. And if you're the Falcons right now, able to keep pace with that big score to end the half, they're looking for something similar here. It's all about keeping pace. The biggest question isn't necessarily on offense right now for Fitch. They've been able to answer when they need to. Question comes from that defensive side. Can they get stops?
Yeah, I think you're gonna need a score here if you're Fitch. You need a touchdown, get it back down to one possession. I mean, arguably, if Massillon's going to be able to stay as productive as they are on offense, it may be must score all the way out for Fitch.
And for Falcons, this is their first offensive possession of the half. Massillon going to kick it back as Cam Smith hauls it in just inside the 10. Smith trying to get the edge. Smith getting some running room. Smith still on his feet. Smith past the 30. Smith gets tackled near the 35. And a nice gain for Austintown on the opening kickoff to set him up with solid field position.
That's a very nice return for Cam Smith. We haven't said his name too much on offense, but he led the Falcons in tackles with 5 there in that first half. He's going to have to come up. The Iowa State commit's going to have to make a difference. We saw it in that Ursuline game. He had about an 80-yard pick 6. He's going to have to make some plays here in the second half for Austintown Fitch.
Jaden Ely out wide right, far side of the field of Vaughn. Trips to his left. Single backfield. They're going to go handoff up the middle. DJ Williams losing his balance, but still able to get a good gain of 5 yards. And how important is that run game, establishing runs like that, going to be for Austintown in the second half?
I think that is huge. I was really surprised looking at our stats in the first half. Jamel James only 2 carries for 3 yards. DJ Williams had 6 for 19. Obviously, you can add on to that there. But it was the passing game for Deshaun Vaughn that really opened it up for Fitch in that first half. You would love to see the ground game start to accompany it here in the second half.
Went back to Jaden Ely as Ely came in to make the catch, but not much on the gain as third down coming up for the Falcons.
About 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5. They're going to call it 3rd and 5 for Austintown Fitch on their own 37-yard line. You need the first down here. This crowd's starting to get into it. You can hear Hell's Bells being played. Austintown Fitch against the wall, got to come up big.
42-yard line is the first down for the Falcons, trying to draw them offsides. Couldn't get it as Vaughn going to check off with the line. 10 seconds on the play clock. 7:41 stays solid on the game clock here in the third quarter of play. Vaughn takes a snap. Handoff again goes to the back. Williams gets stopped shy of the first. It's going to be 4th and 2. Question becomes, do you take it here? This is a very interesting point in this ball game right now, down by 15.
Late flag thrown by our referee. We'll see what that'll be on. It's on Fitch.
And that's not going to be helpful to the Falcons, and some undisciplined plays that we've seen from Fitch. Cases like this where you just can't put yourself in a hole like this. Austintown, if this is against them, definitely going to back them out and back them off of going for it on 4th.
Yeah, that'll force you to punt it if this is a penalty on Fitch.
They're converging. Again at the midfield, head referee merging with his umpire linesman. Going to get the call on the field. Yep, and it's on the Falcons' unsportsmanlike conduct, the call. And like you said, Romo, no doubt punting situation now for Fitch.
Yeah, I mean, you're just backed up too far now after that penalty. It'll be 4th down and 17 now after the 15-yard unsportsmanlike conduct. You're going to need to flip the field position here. Massillon's been starting around the 50-yard line after Fitch punts. You're going to have to boom one here and set him back.
And essentially at 7:22, after a quick 3 and out by Massillon Washington's defense on the Falcons' offense, good punt by Fitch takes a good bounce for them as it's going to plant the Tigers on their own 41-yard line. Defense is going to have to come up big for Fitch, though, in this drive.
Yeah, good field position to start the drive again for Massillon here. On top 28-13. They can really deliver a big blow if they even get this with a field goal up to a 3-possession difference.
Yeah, 35-13 is a steep hole to dig yourself out of with almost half the time being ticked away here in the third quarter already.
Yeah, this third quarter is flying by.
Falcons cannot afford a long drive, highlighted by a lot of rushing attempts by the Tigers this time around. Need a stop in the worst way. As whistles blown. False start. And
False start, that's big.
I'm surprised that they got called for that one there too. They seemed like they were really in rhythm talking about Massillon, Washington, but you might see them back away from that kind of start.
But this is big right here because Fitch had Massillon at 1st and 20 to start the third quarter after a holding on their first run. You definitely want to keep them close to the line of scrimmage right here.
Handoff. Hartson again trying to get some yardage. Good gain on first down. 2nd down and 7 coming up. Some whistles being blown, play dead. As 2nd down coming up for Washington.
So now 2nd down and medium. Hartson, he's just such a physical runner. His physicality gets him about 2 to 3 extra yards with him falling forward on each play.
On their own 44, Washington needs to get a yard inside Falcon territory at their 49. Single receiver, both sides of Hartson. Single back in the backfield on his right hip. Hartson goes to Hartson off of Slaughter's handoff. Hartson gets to midfield, but a yard shy of the first. It's 3rd and 1.
Yeah, Massillon, another 3rd down and short situation here. Again, lower in the shoulder, coming in on the tackle for Fitch was Deshaun Vaughn. That's not the first big collision we've seen between those two here tonight.
This is where Massillon's bread has been buttered too, these 3rd and short scenarios. They have been killing the Falcons on this scenario all night.
5 for 6 is Massillon on 3rd downs tonight.
Trying to get another one. They're going to get more than enough as a 3-yard carry gets them deeper into Fitch territory at their 47-yard line. It's 1st down, Washington.
Yep. Drive will extend here for Massillon. Now coming off the field for Massillon is Dorian Pringle.
5:45 left on the clock here in quarter number 3 for Austintown.
Wouldn't be surprised if Massillon goes to the play action soon. You brought out a running back to put a wide receiver in.
Goes for the pass game. Ardell Banks open. It's an interception. What a grab by Austintown. Fitch. Another pick. Took it away from him. It was Deshaun Vaughn Jr. You want to talk about playmakers. What a grab by Vaughn. Led the team in interceptions a year ago, but maybe none bigger than the one right there.
That was huge. I hope I got it on the camera. The camera wouldn't tilt down. I don't know if I got a helmet on it, but another big interception for this Fitch defense. That's what you need right there. Massillon trying to force it.
And not a bad throw in the slightest by Slaughter. That was a basket catch that Vaughn came in, cut off the intended receiver Banks, and just simply took it away from him.
Yeah, that was a great play. And now Vaughn's going to try to lead the offense down the field.
2nd interception of the game now, and a bad snap. Vaughn going to have to look to do something, just chucking it down the field as flag looking to come out. They're going to get offensive PI, maybe offensive PI, possibly defensive. We saw them kind of tussling far side of the field there, Roma. We'll see who this is on.
Yeah, that was a bad snap to Vaughn, one over his head. He did a good job getting out of the pocket, trying to throw it away, but not enough throw power on it. Didn't get out of bounds. It may be offensive pass interference on Fitch, just making sure that Massillon was not able to intercept that pass.
And you want to talk about momentum swinging plays. Fitch able to get the turnover, but again, first play out of offense, too. Can't get yourself falling behind the sticks if this is offensive PI. But you'd rather take offensive PI than an INT back to the Tigers.
Pass interference on the offense.
Yep.
Now for Fitch, that is 7 penalties for 90 yards compared to Massillon, just 6 for 35.
And penalties have been a killer for Fitch. And now it's going to set them up half the distance to the goal. So they're going to need about 18 yards, maybe 17 and a half for a 1st down now.
Yeah, they have been used to this side of the field, though. This is where they started at their own 1 after the interception in the 2nd quarter, or the 1st, I believe.
5:23 left to go in the 3rd quarter of play. They go into the handoff and a minimal gain on 1st. No traction on offense there, 2nd down.
Yeah, the running game is just not working tonight for the Falcons. as much as you want to try to get it going and go back to it, trailing by 2 scores, you might just have to stick with what's working for you, and that's the passing game here tonight. Deshaun Vaughn's going to have to take this game into his own hands.
Defense has looked good with coming up with another interception, too, creating the opportunities for the offense here. They need to capitalize, trailing by 15.
2nd down and very long.
Vaughn has 3 receiver options out to his left, nobody to his right, single back in the backfield. Whistles are blown prior to the snap. Timeout getting called on the Austintown side, their first of the half, coming with 4:41 in the quarter. Coach Parker wants to talk things over as we'll take a quick break here on ysnlive.com. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Hi, this is Zell Bush.
Hi, this is Tom Flynn. Hi, this is Steve Rossetto.
Hi, this is Ryan Miller.
Hi, this is Rich Sakui from WRS Wealth Advisors.
With our combined 80 years of experience,
WRS Wealth Advisors are the area's premier wealth and retirement specialists. Call 330-965-0370 to learn more about our individual and corporate financial planning services.
Or visit WRSwealth.com.
Go Raiders.
Go Dogs.
Go Cats.
Go Dogs.
Go Tigers.
Right back here, 3rd quarter, 4:41 to go. Falcons 2nd down and 18 to go. Backed up and deep in their own territory as whistles are blown again. False start getting called, I believe, on the Falcons, and that's what we see from the one line judge. So this is going to back Fitch up even more.
Just a lot of
10 penalties now.
Yeah.
10 penalties.
Fitch just continues to kick themselves in the foot. They just keep moving themselves even farther back after getting the big turnover.
And you got to feel like Coach Parker is beside himself on that sideline right now, preaching discipline so much to this Falcons team. And we've just seen some uncharacteristic, undisciplined plays by Fitch tonight, and it's really cost him at several points in this game.
Yeah, they've pushed themselves back to a point where almost you can't go back any farther. You have to get it across the 25-yard line. The ball's inside your own 5. They're going to have something magical happen right here.
Falcons need about a country mile for a first. They're going to go with the pitch out to Williams. What a tackle on Jamel James as James gets tackled at the 1. And a flag coming in late. And it comes on this might go against the Tigers with how late that flag came in. And it did come from behind the Tigers defense. The back judge, I believe, is the one who threw it. So we'll see what the call is on the field.
That would be big if it's on Massillon.
Anything against Massillon just to work yourself forward. If not, Fitch at the 1 with 3rd down. Yep, and it is against the Tigers, so this is going to be huge.
That one is on number 9, Maverick Clark. 6'2" linebacker coming off the field, shaking his head. Coach Moore for the Tigers looking at him, shaking his head as well. Now, I don't know if that's – no, okay, so it will be 3rd down. I didn't know if they'll replay 2nd.
So, but it does set up a manageable 3rd down at 3rd and 10. Yeah, 3rd and 10 now for Fitch as they'll have an opportunity to try to pick up a first down. One that critical that they need right now.
You need this here. Crowd's getting into it. 4 minutes remain in the 3rd quarter. Not too many opportunities for Fitch left, down by 2 scores.
3:56 and ticking in the 3rd quarter. Vaughn on the play action. Vaughn rolls out to his right looking for an opening as able to get a block up front, but he's going to get stopped about 3 to 4 shy of the first. 4th down coming up for the Falcons.
I mean, you got to imagine it's way too early to go for it. You're going to send the punt squad out. Don't be surprised if they fake it, though.
No doubt. Fitch going to have to get creative, but again, now that's 2 interceptions that they have forced against the Tigers where they couldn't come away with any offense on the other side of it. And I hinted at it earlier today on Running Point and talking with Anthony Hartwig. With this game in particular, Romo, when you get those kind of turnovers for either side, you need to translate that to points.
Yeah, definitely. Turnovers in a game like this are the most crucial way of shifting momentum, but a great punt like you said.
Nice punt. Very nice punt to shift field position. I mean, that was about a 60-yard punt, 50-yard punt, by Ruggles to set up the Tigers at the 40, but with 2:59, a tick under 3 minutes to go. Falcons 2 timeouts left. but you really cannot afford a long drive here by Massillon Washington. And more importantly, you can't allow the long drive to cap off with a touchdown.
Yeah, Massillon's starting at the same exact spot as they started their last drive. Will Trell Hartson, well over 100 yards. Massillon has a team 235 rushing yards to Fitch's 49.
Falcons able to get a couple interceptions against Slaughter, but haven't been able to make the Massillon defense pay for the mistakes on the offensive side. Slaughter now coming out, trying to get his team up by 3 possessions. Currently leading by 15 are the Tigers. Handoff goes to Hartson as Hartson just bangs himself off of some Falcons and gets himself set up on a 6-yard rush on first down.
And what makes it so much more crucial that Fitch was not able to capitalize off of those turnovers, and especially that last one, is we're nearing the fourth quarter, under 3 minutes to go in the third. Massillon's going to start to get to the point where they're not even going to have to think about throwing the ball up 2 scores.
Washington going in this new rhythm on offense, too, where they keep checking off at the sideline, too. Coach in the middle of the snap.
Peyton Mitchell in the backfield now, not Will Trell Hartson.
As Mitchell gets the carry, Mitchell tries to slip the first tackle. Falcons there, reinforcements-wise, to hold it to a 1-yard gain.
Nice stop there by the Fitch defense. You're looking at Josh Fitzgerald coming in on the tackle for the Falcons. We saw Fitzgerald get a big tackle earlier on in tonight's game. He gets another one right there.
Near midfield, too. You get a 4th down here. I don't know how aggressive Washington would be in this situation, as if Fitch looking to try to come up with a big 4th down. This has not been an area they've had a lot of success against Washington today.
3rd down and 3. And this is what, Massillon's 8th 3rd down, I believe, tonight. They have not had a 3rd down of more than 5 yards to go tonight.
As Slaughter hands off, and this is going to be close. I don't think he got it. Stopped short. It's 4th down and about a yard to go, just on the other side of the 50. Still technically in Tiger territory. The first down is at the 49-yard line of Austintown.
This is what makes this Massillon offense so lethal, though. A guy like Will Trell Hartson gets 2 yards. You bring Peyton Mitchell, actually that was Dorian Pringle, back into the game. All 3 running backs for Massillon over 200 pounds. Split back look in the backfield here on 4th down.
Falcons looking for a stop, 4th and 1. Handoff goes to Hartson, surprise there, and boy, oh boy, able to get a first down. And actually not even Hartson on that one. They went with their other option on that 24 for the Tigers, which I believe is listed as Tyler Hackenbright.
That was Dorian Pringle, 34.
Or Dorian Pringle, excuse me.
So, yeah, I mean,
Pringle getting a couple carries, too.
The power backs all across the board.
Another first down, as they got way more than they needed on that carry. On a 4th down conversion, 2nd of the night for the Tigers, have yet to punt it away. 48 seconds and ticking, 3rd quarter of play. Slaughter back to the handoff game. Hartson, oh, he's got a hole going past the 20 in the red zone of Austintown.
Yeah, Will Trell Hartson, he's been one of the most impressive backs we've seen so far this season. Austintown Fitch struggling to stop him for less than 5 yards a carry. He's has to be well over 7 yards per carry now, closing in on 200 yards.
276 in the rush yard department for the Tigers right now. Big game for Massillon Washington in the ground game. Slaughter back to that handoff. Nice tackle at the line and just trying to push him down. They finally get the stop after a gain of about 1.5 yards for the Tigers.
That was a nice job by DJ Williams of standing him up. But that'll take us to the end of the 3rd quarter, Ty. 2-possession game here for Fitch. You definitely want to try to force another turnover.
They're going to need something here as time not on the side of the Falcons. We'll be back with the final quarter of play as we swap field sides right after this on ysnlive.com.
Coca's Pizza, your high school football headquarters. Come to pregame with half-off select appetizers in our dining room starting at 5 p.m. Also want to stay for the game? We'll be playing it live. That's Coca's Pizza. We serve it hot.
Reliability. Innovation. Scale. These 3 values are those we look forward to in our business and in our team. If you're ready for a reliable employer who looks constantly to think outside the box in big ways, we're ready for you. Apply now. Help us push the envelope and deliver success. Envelope 1. Take that one extra step.
Why choose local? Because you live here, work here, learn here, relax here, and celebrate here. 21 WFMJ is our Valley's only locally owned TV station, and our focus is local. Other TV stations don't have that same focus, as their owners are somewhere else. But 21 WFMJ is rooted in the Valley. Local people making decisions that affect your life, right here where you live.
Final 12 minutes of play here in Paul Brown Tiger Stadium in Massillon, Ohio. Ty Bartel, Anthony Romo on the call for you as the Austintown Fitch Falcons back against the wall, trailing by 15 as the Tiger offense is in Falcon territory inside the red zone, looking to go up 3 possessions.
Yeah, Will Trill Hartson, 28 carries, 198 yards, over 7 per carry. Don't be surprised if the ball gets in his hands here.
He's been a difference maker, to say the least, for Massillon, Washington. Another big carry for Hartson, and it brings up 3rd down and short, no doubt. 4-down territory in this situation, though, for the Tigers. So 2 plays to pick up about 5 yards for Massillon, Washington, and that's been rather easy for them tonight.
This is tied for the longest 3rd down and yardage to go on the night for Massillon. So if you're Fitch, you definitely try to stuff them at the line of scrimmage. Make Massillon think you're on 4th down.
Ardell Banks, near side 2, always a dangerous target, as getting that edge, heck of a cut, not going to be able to stop him. He carries Falcon defenders into the end zone. DJ Williams tried to get the tackle, couldn't stop him up. Just impressive running by Hartson.
Yeah, this Massillon team, one of the best teams in the state, with one of the best backs in the state. You can take a lot from this game here tonight, that's for sure. If you're Fitch, down 3 possessions now, of course, you're not out of it, 11-16 to go, but you learn from long drives against good teams like this.
Absolutely, and if you're Fitch, it just comes that you're going to need to score, and you're going to need to score quick on offense as defense.
I think it all comes back to that onside kick to start the second half for Fitch. They got it, but they touched it just too early, as it's now 35-13.
Yeah, that didn't help too, and as well as when you get those 2 turnovers, I mean, making the undisciplined play and backing yourself up immediately after the second interception of the game, another thing that just cannot happen if you're the Austintown Fitch Falcons. But like you said, things to learn from, and being disciplined all 4 quarters is definitely one thing Coach Parker is going to highlight in this practice, regardless of the outcome in this ballgame.
Yeah, we'll give some score updates from around the Valley. 57-7 West Branch over Minerva in the 4th quarter. St. V's over Harding 14-12 in the 3rd. Poland over Niles 24-7. Jefferson over Hubbard 25-7 at the end of the 3rd. Mooney over East 37-0. Mogador over JFK 28-14. The Eagles of JFK looking to fight back in that game. Mineral Ridge over Western Reserve 26-6. And Benedictine over Boardman 12-6.
Close game over there. Benedictine's played a lot of tough teams this year despite the 0-5 record. It was going to be a good game for Boardman regardless, looking for a big win in that one. But how about Mineral Ridge? Hey, I don't care what the record of that Western Reserve team is. That's a big lead for a Rams team that's looking to really continue growth. I love Coach Shaner. I love what he's doing over there, and I love Tristan Valley, quarterback over there at Mineral Ridge. I think there's a bright future ahead for the Rams.
Yeah, the Rams are looking to make the playoffs this year. And like a lot of teams in our valley who have kind of surprised some, as it looks like we're going to have a re-kick here.
As Massillon now going to have to back up 5 yards from the original kicking spot. They look like they're going to kick it from the 35. And likely someone that took off early is what the call was on that. I didn't get the exact call on the field, but we're 5 yards back at the 35. And a chance for Fitch maybe to set themselves up in a little bit better field position. But this point, though, in the ball game, you're down by 22. You need scores, and you need to get them within 2 minutes. Your best 2-minute drills, you got to put them together right now.
Yeah, you definitely, like we saw at the end of the first half, you're going to need a couple of those drives. Move the ball quick.
As the
End it
Falcons
with 6.
looking to get set up. Oh, what a nice return by Cam Smith. Turned on the afterburners. Got past the 40. Near the midfield marker as the Falcons will set up shop. Looks like the 43 is where the Austintown Fitch Falcons will take over.
Yeah, Cam Smith has done a very good job in the return game tonight for Fitch, setting up the Falcons with very good field position towards midfield right here. You couldn't ask for much better to start this drive. You look at possession time. Massillon 23 minutes, Fitch just 13.
That plays a huge role in what you're able to do on offense, but having control of the clock usually means you control the ball game as well. As dump off pass to DJ Williams, who tries to get some extra yardage after the catch. It looks like he got a gain of maybe a yard or two. 2nd and 8 now coming up for Austintown.
Fitch trying to go quick here, of course. Vaughn going under center.
The fake on the handoff. Vaughn trying to get the sideline. Vaughn, open look. It's a receiver wide open. Fitch going to get a touchdown on this. No flags on the field. What a quick score. And Roma, we talk about needing it. That is exactly what the doctor ordered for the Austintown.
Every time Massillon seems like they have somewhat put the nail in the coffin of the Falcons, they respond very quickly. What do we talk about, Ty? Quick drives, quick touchdowns. They get it right here. We'll see what they decide to go for. Down 35-19. It's a two-possession game regardless. It looks like they're going to keep the offense out on the field, go for two, get that extra point back that they missed earlier.
Dom Perry with the touchdown reception, 2nd week in a row with a touchdown catch for Perry as a big one here. Trims into that lead for Washington. But again, the offense hasn't been necessarily the question, as we know that secondary, little inexperienced. We expected Vaughn to attack it. Defense needs to come up big for Austintown.
Of course.
As looking for the two, wide open, 2-point conversion. Jaden Ely brings it down, and that cuts the lead to 14. Big play for Fitch.
And now it makes you start to wonder, is it too early to attempt an onside kick if you're Austintown Fitch?
And that's the question. But you now have the unique opportunity of starting the Tigers at their own 20, something that Fitch has rarely had today, Romo. We've seen, I think, the average, if I were to say for Massillon, Washington, they've been starting at the minimum their own 40-yard line. So chance to back them up, maybe force them into a longer, more sustained drive might be what Coach Parker wants to do. I'm curious to see what the call is on this upcoming kickoff.
Yeah, it's definitely tough right here if you're Fitch, because you've seen Massillon control the ball and control it for long periods of time. But you also got to think there's still 10 minutes, 40 seconds on the clock. It may be too early to kind of take a chance like that. We'll see what they decide to do, though. We've seen Coach Parker pull some tricks out of his sleeve before.
Scoring as quickly as Fitch did on that drive was exactly what they needed to do to keep themselves in this ball game and give themselves a chance. Now the biggest thing is if the ball goes back to Washington and Washington playing it smart, they don't want the onside kick recovery or any risk of the onside kick going off on them. They're going to talk things over and make sure they're prepared. But I think the biggest thing for Fitch, we've been talking about defensively too, you can't let the Tigers take a ton of time off the clock. Even if they score, you need to make sure that they do it in a quicker, you'd rather it happen in a quicker fashion than them sustaining a 6-minute drive on you in this one.
Yeah, of course, and just to talk about how impressed we've been with Deshaun Vaughn tonight, over 200 yards passing, 210 to be exact. That's definitely not the game plan that we expected for Fitch coming in tonight. We expected it to be a battle of the backs. Massillon's running back, Wiltrell Hartson, is definitely impressed tonight, but Deshaun Vaughn, the junior quarterback, has definitely raised some eyebrows. And I got to say, for recruiters, too, you see Vaughn playing against a defense like this one at Massillon here tonight. He showed a lot of improvement from, I'd say, his first game when I saw him this year against the team from Nevada to tonight.
And you know what? Just making smart decisions, too. A lot of high IQ football plays from Vaughn, running it when he needs to, getting rid of it when he needs to. And he protects the football for the most part, takes care of it, and that's what you love to see from the guy that man's under center. Falcons, though, defense needs to come up in the worst way against a Washington offense that has had their way with the Falcons on the ground game. As Josiah Burney back for the kickoff, lines it up from 10 yards out, and it's a onside kick, and they give it right to the Tigers on the other side of the 50. And, you know, it might be a case, too, where Coach Parker says, we'll roll the dice. If we can get one that way, we're going to try to get possession however we can.
And you got to think, too, if you're Fitch, we've seen Massillon go for it a couple times on 4th down tonight. You got to be thinking through their mindset. It's probably 4-down territory all the way through for them. They're not probably going to decide to punt it, so you want to give them as least amount of first downs as possible to continue to move that clock going down.
Falcons really needing a stop, trailing by 14 after a big touchdown pass to Dominic Perry from Deshaun Vaughn Jr. Vaughn, 2 touchdown passes and a rushing touchdown on the day. But the Falcon defense has had the biggest question mark next to their name as the lead back for the Tigers, and Hartson averaging 7 yards per carry. Hartson, though, not a ton of yardage to be had there, only a gain of 1. One of the lowest yards, I think, that he got on the rush today.
Yeah, you need to start controlling the line of scrimmage if you're Austintown Fitch. We've seen Massillon really control it all night long. Fitch, it's your turn. You got to step up big.
10-10 left in the game. Massillon Washington with possession, 10 seconds left on the play clock. 2nd down and 9 for the Tigers. Tigers go back to the ground game, looking for a cut. Really nice cut. Hartson is going to get him a 1st down again. And that first cut from Hartson has been perfect every single time tonight.
Yeah, it's definitely caught the first line of defense for Fitch kind of off guard, and Wiltrell Hartson has definitely had a night here tonight. Massillon into Fitch territory.
He's made the difference in this ball game too, and he's really put the Falcons behind the 8 ball on defense plenty of times tonight. Just can't find any answers for Hartson at this point. 9:34 and ticking in the ball game. Back to the ground game. This time not Hartson with the carry, rather it was number 32 and Peyton Mitchell. Mitchell still gets a great gain on the 1st down run, picks up 7.
Yeah, that's now his 8th carry here tonight for Peyton Mitchell. Only a sophomore back. Massillon has seen a few guys tote the rock. Wiltrell Hartson over 30 carries, Dorian Pringle, Peyton Mitchell, and of course the QB Jalen Slaughter.
313 yards on the ground now for the Washington Tigers.
Which is numbers that Austintown Fitch only saw just about that against Ursuline, but still a lot of game to be played here.
As carry up the middle, Mitchell gets
ball on the ground.
But ball does fall on the ground, but I believe they're saying it was dead. And Tigers going to have the 1st down, move the chains near the 25. But that's the one area the Falcons have been better than Washington on, is that turnover game. Trying to force another turnover, that would be huge for Fitch in this situation.
Under 9 minutes to go here in our 4th quarter. Clock's ticking against Fitch.
.30, 1st and 10, Washington, 26-yard line of Austintown. Hartson again makes a great carry, or a great cut rather, gets the carry of about 3 yards, and it's 2nd down.
Well, we've talked about Hartson so much tonight, we haven't really talked about his line. Evan Sergo, Mike Looney, Brady Jones, Mike Mercurio, Sam Snodgrass, the big guys up front have been creating these holes for Hartson to stay kind of slow in the backfield, let his blocks assemble, and then make those cuts. And we've seen it in the stat book. He's done a great job tonight. 2nd down and 7 here for the Tigers.
7:50 left on the clock. The snap, handoff again up the middle. Falcons try to swarm the ball carrier that time and stop him up at the 20. 3rd and about 4 to go for Washington.
Hartson now 33 carries for 230 yards.
Unbelievable numbers for Hartson right now.
He has the amount of Division I offers he has for a reason.
7:20 and ticking. 3rd down Tigers. Again going to double option set in the backfield with Slaughter. Running back on each hip. Goes to Hartson on the handoff. Hartson, another 1st down as just bullies his way into Falcons red zone. 1st and 10, Washington.
Yeah, he went right for DJ Williams at the linebacker position, lowered his shoulder. Williams was able to keep him down. It'll be 1st down and 10 inside the 15-yard line now for Massillon.
Tigers looking to get another score on the Falcons. Try to lead this by 21.
Under 7 minutes to go in the 4th quarter. Time getting really small for Fitch.
Back to that handoff game. What a stiff arm. Hartson gets the edge. Hartson on 1st down. Nice gain. 2nd down and about 3 to go.
Yeah, if you're Fitch, you definitely just, now at this point, you got to hope that Massillon will somehow, as we look at the scoreboard, 54 carries for 333 yards as a team. You got to hope that Massillon can either turn it over here, deep in Fitch territory inside the 10, or that they can have a costly offensive penalty that'll push them back.
6:37 left on the clock here in this ball game. Washington leading by 14. Chance to add to that lead, though, as the handoff getting some big yardage near the first down, and I think they're going to say he got it. The carry that time went to Massillon Washington's Dorian Pringle, the junior. Third down, though, is what they're saying, just short of the first down marker.
And that kind of hurts Fitch in a way, because that gives Massillon another play now to let that clock continue to tick with no stoppage on the spot.
Slaughter.
Approaching 6 minutes to go now. Massillon, of course, wasting no time on this drive. You see the play clock right in front of Slaughter, right above the goalposts.
Handoff. Pringle able to slip the tackle and find his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Massillon back up by 20.
Yep, under 6 minutes to go now for Massillon, up by 3 scores. You're getting towards knockout range. Austintown Fitch, of course, will need another big touchdown, but a flag is down here on the field. Looks like the touchdown will stand.
Falcon down on the field as well. We await the call on the field from our lead referee.
I mean, you just got to give it to this Massillon team. Their physicality has proved big here tonight. The Tigers 4-1 coming into tonight. Their only loss being against Archbishop Moeller, coming off a victory against Lakewood St. Ed's last week, who was not only number 1 team in Division I in the state of Ohio, but the number 19 team nationally. You knew what they were going to bring to the table tonight. You just had to give it your best shot. And Fitch, with only 5:51 to go, they're going to have to pull off a miracle here tonight.
For sure. I mean, time not on the Falcon side. They suddenly, all of a sudden, now are playing 2 opponents in the Tigers and the clock.
And you also got to say, too, though, that when you look at our power rankings, think about the other teams in the rankings. I can't think of another team that's going to put 21 points up on the board against the Massillon Tigers and be within striking distance in the fourth quarter.
Power rankings certainly going to be interesting going into this week. So many talented teams and a lot of talented teams that are going to have 1 loss now. Curious how our voters are going to shake things up going into this week, as so hard always to try to balance out all these talented football teams from so many different divisions in our area. But we've said it before, you're going to see 2 of the best teams in our area tomorrow as well, Romo and Ursuline and Cheney. But I think no doubt you're seeing one of the best in our area right now in Fitch.
Yeah, Austintown Fitch. As Boardman just takes the lead, as I say that, up 13-12 on Benedictine. But Austintown Fitch, you love to play games like this because it's going to get you ready to play the teams like the Hobans and the Nordonias that you want to hope to play deep in the playoff run.
And you know what? You'd rather see your team's schedule up like this, too. Schedule these kind of opponents because, like you said earlier in the broadcast, Romo, you want to get ready for the playoffs. And a lot of teams in our area, we see themselves schedule themselves tough schedules, but also as far as computer rankings go in the world of modern technology and how everything is determined, too, Joe Itel is a great, useful website to check on that as they update almost live as games happen, too. But the computer point rankings are a big thing in that, and that's why you see these teams play up divisions when they're a lower division school to try to get those computer rankings and play tough schools like this because they know every win that the schools that they play get also helps them in the computer rankings.
Yeah, you look at a school like Warren JFK, who may lose tonight to a very good Mogador team, but they've already beat 2 Division III schools this year as a Division VII foe. They are sitting comfortably atop Division VII Region, 23?
25, I believe.
25,
yeah.
Division 7 Region 25. So even if they were to fall tonight to Mogador, I'm sure they're still going to place hold to that top spot.
And you know what? This is a great situation, too, looking at it as who could take top spot now, because it could be Cheney's to take. Again, Cheney comes off with a big win. Might be number 1 in the power rankings after this week.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. South Range handing it to Girard tonight in a battle of unbeaten teams, but
at South
I don't
Range
want to say anything. I mean, I would put Cheney above South Range, but
yeah,
I don't know if that'd be consensus.
Definitely some arguments there. South Range, a great ball club, no doubt this year.
Of course.
And they're going to be having something to say in Division 5, but I don't know, man. I think it would be very hard talking about a Cheney Cowboys team if they ran it back-to-back on Ursuline Canfield back-to-back weeks.
I was on my way here driving by the Pro Football Hall of Fame in the stadium, and the traffic was at a standstill. And I was looking at that stadium, and I was thinking, what team from our viewing area is going to get us to the Hall of Fame stadium this year? South Range, I would say, probably has the best chance as Kirtland has skirted their way down to Division 6. Warren JFK stands out. Austintown Fitch would be huge for the Youngstown football scene. Arguably one of our biggest remaining teams, as just school enrollments are dropping. To get a school like Fitch to the state championship would speak volumes for the Valley. But I think across all divisions, we have teams that have a chance. You look at Division 3, you have Canfield, you have Cheney, you have Ursuline. You look at D4, you have teams like Girard that stand out.
You also West Branch is in
West
there
Branch
too.
is in there in
Branch
D3.
is a really good team. Also, too, in D3, I believe, you're looking at Salem. That's in the top 5 going into tonight. Another really good team that you always have to face. I believe when I was looking earlier today, I think we had 4 YSN teams in the top 5 in Region 13 in Division 4. So a lot of good talent there, and there's definitely a chance. Division 5, obviously, South Range. Garfield always has something to say. They're a strong team as well.
You have a late penalty here against Massillon.
Yeah, it was a free kick out of bounds, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that is true. We haven't even been watching the game here. I haven't.
Free kick out of bounds by Massillon. The kickoff went out, so Fitch going to start at midfield and only helps the Falcons working with a short clock.
Yeah, under 6 minutes to go, 5:51 to be exact. You're going to need another quick touchdown here.
The thing is,
that's where you start.
Falcons just seem like they're worn down on defense against this Tigers team. Oh, wide open. Jaden Neely's going to burn him again. Are you kidding me? At the 15, Tigers secondary getting absolutely torched in the passing game.
Wow.
One end is absolutely killing the defense in the running game and talking about Massillon, but Fitch has owned the air against the Tigers tonight.
If Vaughn finds Ely in stride there, that's another touchdown.
Yeah, honestly.
Ely had to stop and come back to that one.
But Fitch, still, credit the fight and heart that this Falcons team is showing. Not giving up without one, as Ely gets the quick dump-off pass but still gets 5 yards. And now, all of a sudden, if you're other teams in Division II in Fitch's region, you look at what Jamel James and DJ Williams are capable of. And now you see Deshaun Vaughn getting himself close to a 300-yard passing game now, and you start wondering, how good can Fitch be on offense?
Yeah, you definitely got to like, too, coming in tonight. We mentioned earlier, Fitch had really yet to play a full 4-quarter game. You look at that Ursuline game, can you count that as a full 4 quarters as the Falcons let the Irish get back in? This is a full fight.
Wow, Vaughn slipped the first tackle, having to get rid of it. Oh, he makes the catch! Jamel James walks in, touchdown Falcons! What composure shown by Deshaun Vaughn. And you know what? And that could be play of the week as far as I'm concerned.
That might be play of the week right there. We might have to submit that one. What a play by Deshaun Vaughn.
You talk about keeping a play alive for as long as you can and showing some great athleticism, some great composure as he got flushed out of that pocket. Couple passes, too, for a Washington team that played so good defensively last week against St. Ed's, has now allowed 2 touchdowns in less than 2 minutes in back-to-back possessions.
Yeah, this is saying a lot about this Fitch offense. As you were saying, Ty, Fitch has shown tonight that if you can pretty much stop the running game, only 49 rush yards tonight between Jamel James and DJ Williams, that this Falcons passing attack can also be lethal. And 5:17 left, Ty, that's a lot of time. If Fitch is able to execute an onside kick, get the ball back, get a score, you put yourself in a situation where you think, we may not have to go for another onside kick and give our defense a chance.
3 touchdowns through the air, 1 through the ground for Deshaun Vaughn Jr. And, I mean, I don't think I would be remiss to say this is a phenomenal performance by a junior quarterback in a hostile environment.
Of course.
That is Paul Brown Tiger Stadium. Very composed and playing one of the best, most complete games of his life through the air right now. Deshaun Vaughn Jr. back-to-back drives looking really sharp against this Falcon defense, against this Tiger defense, excuse me. But talking about the Falcon defense, Romo, That's been the big question mark. Every time Falcons have gotten a quick score, that's 3 now that they've gotten in less than a minute time down the field. They can't let up that long drive, though, and I feel like a broken record.
It's easier said than done,
I feel like a broken record saying it, but especially now at 5:17, Massillon can easily burn the rest of the clock off this game if they want to. Fitch needs a stop in the worst way now.
Yeah, Fitch, I mean, you got to say they're going to go for the onside here.
Absolutely.
You got to. Still have 2 timeouts, but Trell Hartzell has been unstoppable tonight.
If you can get this possession back, you have a chance, and here it is. Falcons, though, kick goes too hard as it gets stopped at the 50, and Tigers going to be with short field position as Falcons trying to execute that onside kick. Tigers were ready for it, and if you're going to stop them, you're just going to have to stop them.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to have to get big up front. Massillon 346 rushing yards tonight. I don't know if I would have ever thought that an Austintown Fitch game this season, we'd be saying that Fitch was outrushed by over 300 yards, and we're 3 yards away from saying that right here.
Definitely. I mean, it's been an incredible rushing attack, but it's been a tale of 2 sides, too. Falcons dominating the pass game. As you look in the passing yards, 260 to 50. So
with 2 interceptions for Austintown on defense.
Yeah, so really playing good in the passing game. Rushing game, though, has been a different story for Fitch. But credit Vaughn for not really getting a lot of openings in the rush game for him in the pass game. He's still been able to find 260 yards worth of offense. Again, the rush goes up the middle. Another turnover would be what the doctor ordered, but you need 4 downs if you can.
Yeah, we'll see right here. I mean, that's only about a 3-yard gain on first down, which is another one of those times for Fitch. That's one of the shortest gains you've given up on first, under 5 minutes to go now here in the 4th quarter.
Falcons needing a stop. Tigers coming with a 2-receiver set, 1 on each side of Slaughter. Looks like Hartson is the back on his right hip, now switching to the left hip of Slaughter. Out of the shotgun. Snap. Handoff. Hartson. Hartson gets the edge. Hartson gets a good gain as he stopped up 2 yards shy of the first 3rd down.
Yep, that's 3rd down and manageable here, though. If you are Fitch, about 3rd and 2, you're going to need to get the stop here. Your big boys are going to have to bust through the line. You're going to have to get a lot of bodies on the ball right here. You're bringing Dorian Pringle in off the sidelines. Don't be surprised if the ball goes to him. He's on the right side of Slaughter.
4 minutes left to go. 4th quarter of play. Massillon up by 2 with possession. Up by 2 possessions, I should say, with possession. Handoff again. Oh, bounced off and a first down. Now still on his feet. He climbed over, still on his feet as the tackle finally brings their running back down. Number 34, Pringle. You called it out, Romo. You said it was going to him. That's exactly where it did.
These Massillon running backs are some of the most brutal backs I think I have seen, not only this season, but in some of the past seasons of covering football for YSN.
Explosiveness is the one word that comes to mind. I've counted 2 hands-wise, Romo, now, where I've seen Massillon running backs literally leap for 3 yards after a run. 3 yards jumping as they're just using so much power in those legs to generate those extra yards.
60 carries, now 61 for Massillon on the night inside the 10-yard line now. We'll see where they put him. They put him at the 6, so that's now 61 carries for 391 yards. They're approaching 400.
Gets another big carry, and Falcons front 7 gassed right now. No doubt. And Hartson really just getting what he wants on that Falcon front 7 as the offensive line, credit Massillon Washington, is the reason they won last week against St. Ed's. It's showing up big time again.
Of course.
Against
you
a
gotta
very
give
good
them credit.
defense. 2nd down, 1 to go. First down marker at the 5-yard line of Fitch. Not far at all for the Tigers needing to go, trying to hurdle his way into the end zone. Stopped short as 1st and goal coming up for the Tigers.
Peyton Mitchell trying to do everything he can to get into that end zone. Only a sophomore
He wants his touchdown, man. He wants his touchdown. He wants his 6. Give him his change. They might go back to him here as they set up 1st and goal on the 2.
And something that's scary about this Massillon line with them being so good tonight, they only have 1 senior on their line.
Yeah.
They're all underclassmen, so if these 2 teams continue their contract and play another year, boy, will that be a fun one next year.
You mentioned it earlier as a flag coming down. False start. Now going to back up the Tigers a little bit, but you got to figure that might hurt the Falcons actually at 2:40. For the Tigers, though.
I mean, really, if you're Fitch, your only chance of really staying in this one is if you force a turnover
here. You
here.
really need it, yeah. Absolutely. Doing what we said they were planning on doing. They've run the clock down to under 2:40, 2:35 and ticking. Tigers looking to get another score and all but seal it if they can go up by 3 possessions.
We have another blown whistle right here.
And pointing some things out. Line judge.
Looks like we got everything taken care of now. It'll be 1st and goal on the 6.
Flag coming out. And false start. They're going to back him up 10 more yards and not timing it right with the checkoff. So 2 false starts back to back to a chorus of boos from the Tiger faithful here as it's 1st and goal from the 11.
Yeah, I mean, this is really the first time. If you're Fitch, you're thinking, where was this undisciplinedness from Massillon earlier on?
2:15 left on the clock. Time not on the Falcons' side. 2 timeouts left for Fitch. 1st and goal, Massillon, Washington. Looking for another touchdown to seal the game. Hartson walks into the end zone. Another touchdown for him. This young man is something else right now, Romo.
Yeah, I mean, I'm running out of things to say for him. He's one of the most impressive backs I think I've ever seen in person. Wiltrell Hartson, a plethora of Division I offers. That's now, his 4th rushing touchdown tonight, 4th or 5th.
Shout out this line, too. Evan Sergo, Mike Looney, Brady Jones, Mark Mercuro, and Sam Snodgrass. I think more than deserve a shout out on that offensive line. They've created holes the size of the Red Sea that when Moses parted it. They're doing that right there on that offensive line and giving all the running room to Hartson, who promptly has taken advantage all night long. 49-28. Tigers in front, 2:04 left to go as the Falcons are playing for pride here in Paul Brown Tiger Stadium. 2:04 left to go on the clock. Ty Bartzel, Anthony Romo to be back right after this. 2:04 left to go. Tigers ready to kick it off to the Falcons, leading by 21. All but decided here in Paul Brown Tiger Stadium. We're talking a little bit off the air, Romo, about the talent of this Tigers team, speculating on where they rank in all of Division II in the state of Ohio. And you got to, I think, be talking about a top 5 team. And this has to be so exciting for this community, Romo, considering the fact that you mentioned it earlier, 24 Ohio State championships, but 52 years the drought right now for the Tigers since their last state championship. They would love nothing more than to get this team back to Canton.
Yeah, definitely. This Massillon team the last couple of years has made a good amount of trips to that state title game. They just haven't been able to get over the hump, and that's the thing that people have said about Massillon. Yeah, you have the 24 state championships. They do not have a single one in the playoff era. All of their state championships are from polls, so this definitely has to be one of their best squads to try to break that drought. I know they've had a couple state championship game defeats to Hoban, last one coming in 2020 here on their home field. If you do remember, the state title games got moved to Massillon from Columbus due to COVID.
And that was definitely interesting times, as Hoban has kind of been the Achilles heel for a lot of teams in Division II. Vaughn, oh my goodness, looking for Dan Evans III, almost had him on the money. And another nice pass by Vaughn, too. Almost
You know what? I'll just keep the camera zoomed out so I don't have to do it during the play because we know Deshaun Vaughn's going to unload. And you'd think Massillon would be kind of trying to play the prevent-style defense right here.
After considering the 3 drives that Fitch has put up on Massillon in less than a minute for a score, you're kind of surprised why Massillon's not having more defensive backs, like you said, playing in that prevent, trying to avoid a quick score. Now they're going 3 defensive backs in the secondary, trying to slow Vaughn's passing attack down. Vaughn rolls out to his left. Vaughn still on his feet. Vaughn, nice toss on the completion, looking to get out of bounds. And they're going to say, had it. And clock continuing to run through it. Didn't get out of bounds in time. It's 3rd down for Fitch. Got that pass to Dan Evans at 3rd.
Yeah, Deshaun Vaughn has impressed a lot here tonight. That's for sure. He's nearing 300 passing yards.
Vaughn at 1:18, looking to get some more points on the board for the Falcons. 5 wide, empty backfield. Goes over top. Williams on the reception. Williams on the slip. Reinforcements come nicely by the Tigers to stop it up at 1:05. And likely Falcons, or no, Tigers going to allow the Falcons to potentially get one more play off on 4th down. Trailing by 21, pretty elementary at this point as to who's winning this ball game.
And respect from both sides. Fitch not calling the timeouts. They know that this one is out of reach.
No need to in this one as Massillon Washington, quite frankly, offense gets it done. We say defense wins championship. Defense wins a lot of ball games. Way to stay in the pocket again. As it was tipped, though, as nice defense that time by Massillon's own Calix Collins. One of the seniors on this squad tips it, falls incomplete, 4 down, 29 seconds left on the clock. I'd be shocked if Massillon ran any plays that weren't knee downs to walk out of here with a win.
Probably just going to take one knee and get out of here, and then we'll probably have to take some time up here in the box so we don't get stuck in the traffic jam. We might, I don't know, we'll see, depending what time the post-game show starts. Because neither of us will be able to get on it if we're in our cars when it starts. We have very long rides home. But if you're talking about Fitch, you were impressed by Deshaun Vaughn tonight. Sound like a broken record. If you're looking at Massillon, Wiltrell Hartson led a rushing attack that had over 400 rushing yards. Ty, this was fun, though. This was one of the most fun games I think I've ever called.
You learn a lot about yourself, too, when you get punched in the mouth like this. And the Falcons' defense went to school tonight. And the biggest thing is when a team takes you to school like that, whether it's both sides of the ball, one side of the ball, what you take away from going to school, what do you learn? And I think that's the biggest thing. Coach Parker going to turn this into a big learning experience on the defensive side for the Falcons, but certainly offensive side, you scored 28 points against a very, very good Massillon Washington defense. A lot to be had, or a lot to take away positive-wise from this Falcons performance. But some questions on the defense and some things you want to shore up certainly going forward if you're Fitch.
Yeah, as the firework display is in full form. I wish we could get it on our broadcast. If we were on the other side, we could definitely get it. But
Tigers get the win, though. They're 5-1 now on the season. Fitch drops to 5-1 now on the year. And honestly, like you said, though, Romo from the onslaught, running game established everything for Massillon, and they just set the tone from that point on.
Of course, yeah. Massillon's rushing attack, over 400 yards on the ground. Fitch's passing attack is what kept them in the game, and you got to give it up to both sides. Definitely, I'd say, two of the top 10 teams in Division II in the state of Ohio. Fitch proved a lot here tonight against one of the best teams year in, year out in the state. Head coach T.J. Parker has some positives to look away from, and not only this being a positive outcome from the football standpoint, but I think from a standpoint of life, this is definitely something these Fitch kids can take for the rest of their lives. I'd say definitely at least over 8,000 people in attendance here tonight for this game.
Great crowd, too. I mean, we want to thank, obviously, the Massillon, Washington community and the great, kind folks here at Paul Brown Tiger Stadium for having YSN Live.
Got us some food.
Yeah, they set us up with food. They set us up with a great spot in the press box and showed us nothing but pure hospitality here in Paul Brown Tiger Stadium. So we definitely thank our host school today in the Massillon Washington Tigers. Falcons, though, they're going to be in action away on the road again. Strongsville is the opponent slated for the Falcons, and there will be September 30th, 7 p.m. start time, regular start time on that for the Falcons. Strongsville, I believe, was 2-3 going into today. We're going to look to get an update on that score for that one, too. But again, Strongsville is the slated opponent for the Falcons in next week's contest. As for the Massillon Washington Tigers, they're going to play Middletown, Delaware. Well, Middletown, Delaware is coming here to play the Massillon Washington Tigers, too. So, out-of-state team coming into the great state of Ohio, just about 30 minutes from the Pro Football Hall of Fame to take on one of the area's best football teams, no doubt, in the Washington Tigers.
Yeah, Massillon not traveling again for the rest of the regular season. They are at home. Home week 1, on the road weeks 2 and 3, and then at home weeks 4 through the end of the regular season. This is a team that if you're Fitch, you got to think, though, if we can make our way through Region 5, take down Hoban, take down a team like Nordonia, if you could face another team like this and find a way to stop the rushing attack, we saw what your passing attack could do here tonight. You'd love to say that you'd give yourselves a pretty reasonable chance if these two teams were to face off in, let's say, the state, I don't know if it'd be state semis or state championship. Of course, a long ways to go for both squads. Just hope that everyone stays healthy.
You look at this team, though, and there's no doubt, I think, for Fitch, you want something like this to happen in the regular season, and you'd rather it happen week 6 of the regular season than any time after week 10. And I think, like we said, a lot to learn from Fitch. Great game tonight. Before we head out, though, final thoughts on this game and the experience tonight here in Massillon, Washington.
Well, first off, to talk about the experience, like I said, this is something I can finally cross off the bucket list. This was like, you're like a kid in a candy store up here tonight. Being right on the same side as this crowd, just this whole atmosphere. We had the choir singing the national anthem. It was just first class here. Now, this was my second time being here. I've yet to see a victory from our schools. Springfield dropped the state championship in 2020 in heartbreaking fashion to Coldwater here at Massillon High School. But takeaways from the game, Deshaun Vaughn, impressive junior quarterback, a lot to take away for him. Your rushing attack wasn't there, but your passing game picked up when they needed to. I'm looking at the scoreboard, Massillon 74 plays tonight to Fitch's 42, which is an insane difference, and it's insane to run 74 plays in a high school football game. And on the side for Massillon, we're looking at final stats. Will Trell Hartson, 40 carries, 274 yards, 4 touchdowns. When you run the ball 62 times, 64 times, the defense is going to get worn down.
406, yeah.
Fitch is going to be tired tomorrow morning.
They definitely are, and I think the biggest thing going forward is you just got to look at that discipline, too, the things that you can control. You can't control when a guy has so much athleticism like Hartson does, and he makes those great cuts, and there's things that are out of your control, but the penalties that Fitch faced, definitely something in their control, and I'm sure that's going to be a message throughout this week's practice by Coach Parker, is talking about that discipline, talking about shoring up those penalties and not allowing you to get yourself behind the chains when you get those big momentum swinging plays. I urge you all to go tune in to our Audible call as we have live look-ins around all the games in the area, as well as following our Joe Dickey Electric scoreboard show, too, with Mike Ackelson and all the gang, too, as they get you squared away with all the scores that happen in the area and in our valley. I'd like to thank you all for tuning in and watching this broadcast of YSN Live Football. To our proud owners, both DJ Yoakley and Brian Scott, were able to bring this game to each and every person unable to make it in attendance tonight. To our GM, Steve Leslie, who with us worked with Bob Scene Park Baseball, YSU Football, YSNLive.com, another voice of the Ursuline Irish as well.
Yeah, tomorrow night we got a big one.
The man
Ursuline Cheney.
Man of many hats in Steve Leslie, and we wouldn't know what to do if he didn't wear every single one of them. So we thank you for everything you do for not only YSN, but the entire area, Steve. And most importantly to all of you who tuned in and helped support these kids, schools, and communities, you guys are really and truly what YSN Live is all about. And so we thank you. You're tuning in from this Massillon, Washington community, getting your first taste of YSNLive.com. We'd like to welcome you in, say thank you for your support, too, and want to remind you, too, that YSN is a free service, too. So contact your school's AD if you're interested in how we can get YSN into your school. Or if you're back home with the Austintown Fitch Falcons community, supporting your Falcons like you do each and every week, we want to thank you for your constant support of not only Austintown Fitch, but also YSNLive.com, or wherever you may be in high school football. This is Ty Bartell with Anthony Romo bidding you all a farewell and a good night, everybody.
YSN thanks you for watching this presentation of your sports network. For stories, stats, and more, go to ysnlive.com.